Hi, everybody. Welcome to Braemar Arena in Edina on stateofhockey.com. Presented tonight by Walther Toyota, Tavern on 4 and 5, Green Mill, and Shirts Unlimited. Joined by Bart Archer this evening, I'm Patrick Lilia. As we got this late conference matchup between the Eagles and Edina. Bart, you and I did this matchup back at the Holiday Classic, a 7-1 Edina win. What do you think we've learned about these two teams since then?
Well, I think Edina, it was hard to kind of gauge from that Edina Holiday Classic. They scored 28 goals in 3 games, so a lot of teams were victimized by Edina, a very focused Edina squad. Third game and third night, hard to draw too much out of it. I just know that Eden Prairie intermittently has kind of shown how good this team can be, and intermittently they've shown sometimes where they aren't playing their best. I think sometimes they can be their own worst enemy, and tonight they're going to have to pay particular attention to stay out of the penalty box, and I think that's one of their great challenges moving forward.
Let's talk about the host Hornets. They avenged their only loss of the season to Minnetonka with an 8-2 demolition of the Skippers here at Braemar on Thursday night. Who do you think has the best chance to stack up to Edina going forward?
Well, I think Minnetonka does. I just think that they need Josh Lutke, their defender, back and healthy. He drives their power play, but I just think Edina was very motivated. I don't think there was a team in Minnesota that could have beat them on that night, but Minnetonka certainly has the wherewithal. Duluth East is certainly in the mix, St. Thomas Academy, and then there are other teams. Andover's making a push. Centennial I have a lot of respect for, but there's a lot of teams out there that can challenge, but I think only 3 out there can really kind of keep Edina from inflicting their will.
Eden Prairie coming in. They beat Stillwater on Thursday night 6-2, managing 6 goals against that very good Stillwater defense and goaltending. How can Eden Prairie keep Edina from turning this into another track meet like the first matchup?
Well, I think the first thing we've already talked about is stay out of the penalty box. In fact, last time they played that 7-1 drubbing by Edina, Eden Prairie took a too many men on the ice penalty early in that first period. Jed Jungles opened the scoring, and then the floodgates opened. They got out of that period 2-0, but if they can stay out of the box, they'll be in good shape. I think they have to control the blue lines. If they can keep the puck in the Edina zone and defend their own blue line and give their goaltender good sight lines, I think they're going to have a reasonable chance for success, but they're going to have to play a very solid game in every zone, both directions tonight.
We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll come back with the drop of the puck. You're watching Edina versus Eden Prairie here on stateofhockey.com. Get ready to drop the puck to start the Saturday night festivities here at Braemar Arena between Eden Prairie and Edina, the late conference rivals. One quick thing we didn't quite get to, Bart, who in particular do you think needs to step up for Eden Prairie tonight in order to get the Eagles a win?
Well, I guess the easy answer would be Jack Jensen, junior forward, 13 goals, spearheading the offensive firepower of this Eden Prairie Eagles squad, but the support players, the John Middlestats, the Chris Cronin, if Spencer Rudrud's in the lineup, that makes a big difference. But I think it really starts from the back line. I think Andrew Irwin and Keegan Langfels and Sam Pager, Max Argensinger, it has to really generate from the blue line. Quick zone exits, speed through the neutral with possession, but whoever possesses the puck tonight is going to have a greater chance to win, and that's the challenge in front of Eden Prairie, because Edina's the people that got a chance to witness that Minnetonka Edina game, Minnetonka was all over or Edina was all over Minnetonka defensemen with the body, separation from the puck, and they just couldn't get into a rhythm. I think that's what they're going to try to employ again tonight.
Waiting for Eden Prairie to break out of the huddle at their own net.
But I will say that the most important player on the Eden Prairie squad is going to be their goaltender tonight. He's going to have to make a couple big saves, and I believe that's going to be senior goaltender Andrew Dietrich. Going to have to play his best game tonight, give his team a chance to win.
Absolutely. So Dietrich getting a second straight start. Typically in a rotation, Ben Boulis seem to kind of go back and forth between the two. Center ice face-off, won by Edina, controlled by Mason Reiner. He'll send it down deep into the Eden Prairie zone. Quickly played down into the corner to the left of Dietrich. Popping out of there, or the Eagles coming up the near side, out through center ice. Here's Jensen. Jensen in with Piaski. Piaski with a shot on goal. Mackay, and the puck swept wide of the net. The puck shot high over the net. Max Borst down into the corner. Bykowski with that early shot on goal. And here's Brinkman in neutral ice, working his way forward. He'll dump it down into the corner. Now along the far side boards, behind the net, it's played by Irwin. He'll send it back along to the far side. Back into the neutral zone. Eagles quickly ahead, but that puck skipping off the stick of Jones and will collide in the corner right in front of us. Middlestit breaking out of there is Mike Verlicki for the Hornets. Now all the way down into the Eden Prairie zone once again. The near side corner, centering feed goes all the way off the boards in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Edina will have to reset in the neutral zone. Here's Verlicki with it. Dump it down along the near side boards. Now behind the Eden Prairie net, the Hornets looking to come out with it. They'll play it back around the net. Looking to center it. Reversing direction in front of the net and then swept out into the near side boards. Here comes Eden Prairie back the other way. If this puck flipped out of play, and we'll have a face-off. 15:09 to go, first period.
Well, so far the best chance tonight is Jack Jensen taking a shot on Garrett Mackay. Mackay stood tall, got that first save out of the way. Not a lot of action down in Dietrich's area, but there is some zone possession time by Edina. Another player of focus for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad is number 37, Carson Jones, junior forward. He can spearhead the rush, and he's centering Middlestad and Conan. So a very formidable line for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad.
There's a shot on goal by Mason Reiners. It's swept down into the corner along the near side boards. Brinkman trying to hold it in for the Hornets. He does, and he drives toward the net. Brinkman in. Brinkman shoots that one wide into the corner. Well, the defenseman getting a good chance on goal there, Bart.
Yeah, we're going to say Brinkman's name quite a bit. Him and Vorlicki and really a host of all the defensemen, Boldman and I can't think of it, Reiners. These are four very good quality D1 prospect candidates, so they're going to be very active tonight, and that's another challenge, another layer of challenge for this Eagle squad.
This play moves along the near side boards. Eden Prairie coming through the neutral zone with it. Here's Jensen along the near side. Jensen trying to work his way toward the middle. Brinkman knocks him off the puck, but Jensen still able to maintain it. Tried to center it for Wilhite, but intercepted. Brought back through the neutral zone by Edina. They'll throw that one toward the net, and that one just off the mark, and the net knocked loose.
Well, Edina's going to try that quite a bit. They like the wingers attacking and going to the net, and just a nice redirect. But Jensen, nice spearhead of the rush on this Edina defenders, and he had Brinkman. He went wide on Brinkman, but what Brinkman did is he kept his feet moving, went stride for stride. That's what you have to do as a defense. Once you lose your stride, you're going to lose ground and could create havoc. But he did a nice job of defending a talent like Jensen, keep him at bay.
Evan Shoemaker taking the face-off for Edina against Rudrud just outside the Eden Prairie zone. Rudrud with it now in the zone. He'll push it up to the near side boards. Go back down into the offensive zone for Edina as Dietrich covers up and holds on. 13:50 to go in the first period.
Well, I think so far, obviously we're very early into this game, but I like what Eden Prairie's done so far. They don't seem intimidated by Edina. They're facing them. They're winning some one-on-one battles, keeping everything to the outside. Edina's going to try to get their chances in tight. So far, Eden Prairie's defense has held up quite well.
As Edina controls the face-off. It's Vorlicki who had it briefly. Now Vorlicki back down low. There's a shot that's blocked off the side of the net. Now down into the near side corner once again. It's a swept out front. They score! Sam Walker with his 23rd goal of the year, and it's 1-0 Edina.
Yeah, and that was Vorlicki, and that's what happens when you have a competent group as far as defense. They do not bail from the blue line early. He held the line, kept the puck in, and got that one to Walker, and Walker went glove side over Dietrich's shoulder to give Edina an early 1-0 lead. 13:34 left in this first period. Edina draws first blood. Very interesting to see how Eden Prairie is going to respond to this. A lot of teams go, oh, here we go, but they're right back to the dot. I like the body language. Dietrich's ready to get back to action, but Edina gets first energy.
So that goal coming at 3:26 of the first period. Took me a second there, Bart.
I let you figure that one out, Patrick, but that's his 23rd goal of the year. Very impressive.
Eden Prairie sends that one back toward center ice. Eden Prairie with Irwin will possess it back in their own zone. Irwin banks it off the near side boards up into the Eden Prairie offensive zone where Vorlicki possesses it. They'll push that one up ahead to Lewis Crosby. Crosby sends that one up ahead as Komatzis with a shot on goal held onto by Dietrich.
Well, Edina, that's what they do. All of a sudden they start to smell the proverbial blood in the water, and pretty soon everybody gets involved. And once that line goes off, another very formidable line comes on. But now this is a very interesting line right now for the Edina Hornets. It's Swanson, Shoemaker, and Boers. Boers very good at going to the net, has some grit to his game, but this is a pretty good line for Edina, and I think he likes to match him up against the bigs for this Eden Prairie team. So far they've had success, but we got a long way to go.
As play down behind the net, Langfell's putting a hit on for Eden Prairie behind the net. We swept out to Brinkman. Brinkman will send it. Now that one poked away from him. And Eden Prairie able to clear it out to the neutral zone. Now here's Carson Jones into the offensive zone for the Eagles. Try to work his way around the net. Conan there as well for Eden Prairie, but Brinkman able to take that one away from the senior Eden Prairie forward. The recent converted forward, reconvert possibly. There's a shot on goal held onto by Garrett Mackay.
Well, that means he's got some flexibility to his game, and his coaches have faith in his footwork on defense. But Conan's a big body, and he put a good challenge on Brinkman. Brinkman took the puck initially away, but Conan's strength took that puck back, kept the puck in the zone, put some pressure on Mackay. So nice job by the Eden Prairie forwards. One way to have some semblance of success against Edina, get the puck deep, try to work behind the goal line, work behind the defense, but make them come the full 200 feet. So far, Eden Prairie's done a pretty good job of that.
Edina possessing it in their own zone. A good job by Wilhite trying to force his man off the puck as it swept out into the neutral zone. He dumped back into the Eden Prairie offensive zone. Now swept back out into the neutral ice area. Walker chasing it down into the offensive zone for Edina as it works its way around in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Eagles will bring it out to neutral ice and then intercepted and brought back in by Jet Jungles. Jungles tied up on the near side. Now back out at center ice. Or Trevor Cruiser sends that one back in toward the near side boards. Now comes Mason Nevers in with it. Centering feed for Walker, and that one sent up into the corner. Bart, you and I were talking off air before the game that we thought Eden Prairie needed to weather about the first 5 minutes to really feel good about where they're at. And even though they do trail 1-0, I think you think they still feel pretty good about where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. They're skating with Edina. Edina did get their opportunities, but my thought was the first 5 minutes is their first challenge, the next 5 minutes is their next challenge, and then the final 7 minutes, they're just going to have to start winning each and every shift, or at least competing, keep the puck out of the zone, but they have to possess the puck and keep it off those Edina sticks. As you can see, Edina is very good about working the puck in the offensive zone and really make you start to chase the play. That's something they've got to kind of stay away from. But if they can possess the puck, it makes their job a lot easier.
Spikowski sends that one in on goal, covered and held by Mackay. Face off deep in the Edina zone with 10:50 to go in the first period.
Well, Spikowski, number 12 in the red, he's one of these players that you might not hear about a whole bunch, but he does so many little things to help his team get a chance to win. He's a gritty player that knows how to play the game, and coach has a lot of confidence to put him out in each and every situation, and he hasn't let him down.
As you say that, he wins that key face-off, and Jensen with a shot on goal, having covered quite a few Eden Prairie games lately. Certainly see Pikowski. He doesn't show up a lot on the score sheet. He did get a goal Thursday night in that win over Stillwater, but he's that guy who's always driving, always fighting hard, always looking to make something happen. And there he gets another shot on goal, steered aside by Mackay.
He's just tough to play against, and that's what you want as a coach.
Yes, Jensen tries to center it. It's centered out front into traffic, and Mackay somehow able to hold on to that point-blank shot.
Well, it was Jensen that did a little redirect out to Lesko, and Lesko from the right hash got a really good shot on goal, and I think that was more of a position save by Mackay. He made the initial save, didn't know where the rebound was, but he tucked that in with care. But a nice job by the Edina goaltender to really thwart a pretty good effort by Eden Prairie.
Shoemaker wins the face-off for Edina. Here they come through the neutral zone with Max Borst. And the puck loose out front, and Eden Prairie eventually comes out with it, but will have a stoppage of play.
Well, you can see how dangerous Edina is. Just an innocent dump in. Dietrich moved the puck to the side, but then Edina has the speed to win those battles, so you have to be cognizant of getting in the way and interrupting their stride. Otherwise, those follow-up opportunities can kill you. But they weathered that storm. 10:09 left in the first period. I still think Eden Prairie's done a pretty good job of keeping things on the outside, really limiting the good quality looks for Edina, but Edina has a way to wear you down, so it's how they're going to finish this 10 minutes is going to be very, very important moving forward.
Jones wins the face-off for Eden Prairie, but Edina able to push it down further into the zone. A.J. Horton tying up his man behind the net. Edina setting up in the offensive zone once again, centering feed out front and then sent back up into the corner out in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Edina able to hold the zone. They'll play it around the Eden Prairie net to the near side.
Boy, really an aggressive pinch by Boltman on that one. That's confidence right there.
Play continuing behind the Eden Prairie net. A couple of guys looking to reverse direction more than once. Now play coming into the near side corner. They'll get it out to Vorlicki. Vorlicki throws that one toward the net, goes off the side of the cage. Back to Vorlicki. They'll get it up top for Boltman, who takes a shot wide. Back to Boltman. Boltman will line up again, and Jones uses the body nicely to block that one and send it up into the corner.
Boy, if they can keep blocking shots like that, it might change the dynamic on how Edina guards, but Boltman kept calling for the puck. I liked his idea, but he had pretty good defense.
Yes, Horton dumps this one in for the Eagles. They will change. Here's Vorlicki behind the Edina net. Boltman with it now along the near side. Poked out into the neutral zone. Rudrud takes it away, banks it off the near side boards, down deep into the Edina zone. Vorlicki has that one tipped as he tried to get it up to one of his teammates. Rudrud doing some damage along the far side boards as well. Eden Prairie trying to force a mistake in the Edina defensive zone. That's Grain banks this one off the near side boards. Rudrud looking to center. Oh, just couldn't get enough on it, and Mackay able to cover it.
Well, that was a great busy stick by Nevers on that one. A nice puck movement by Eden Prairie, getting it, moving it forward to the open man, got it out front into the scoring area, and they had a great look, but it was Nevers with the busy stick, interrupted the stride, allowing Mackay to jump on that puck, covered, face off to his left. I like the push from Eden Prairie. Now they just got to tickle the twine and get a tally on the scoreboard. First one's always the hardest one to get.
Pikowski wins the face-off. Shot off the face-off goes wide. Langfell's able to push it down into the corner for Eden Prairie. Edina will play it around. It'll bleed through the neutral zone. Lewis Crosby chasing it down into the offensive zone as a host of Hornets start to swarm toward the puck in that offensive zone. 8:10 to go now, first period, 1-0 Edina with the lead. Walker with his 23rd of the year. Brinkman behind his own net. Pushed up ahead into the neutral zone in front of the bench areas. Now down into the Eden Prairie zone once again. They'll play it around there. A big hit put on in the corner. It was Argetsinger. I think he wants to put on some hits now in retaliation for that hit as Edina continues to possess in their offensive zone. Cross-ice pass for Reiners. They'll play that one around the net. Irwin will have it there for Eden Prairie. He'll bring it up ahead, and he'll send it downwards to tipped into the Edina zone. They'll float it up ahead. No icing called there as Irwin will bank it back along the near side boards. Edina offside. 7:17 first period, 1-0 Edina.
Well, I think that the Edina Hornets thought that they were going to call that icing call, and they let up a little bit, but they waved it off. Brinkman lost the race to the blue line with the puck, so it's going to be just outside the Eden Prairie zone. 7:17 left in the first period. Edina up by 1, but Eden Prairie showing a lot of life and going toe-to-toe with the monster right now. so far so good for Coach Lee Smith. Obviously, they want to get a tally on the board, tie this thing up, but they played very sound three-zone hockey so far. Look for that to continue.
Pager tied up on the far side boards. Carson Jones able to send it in deep for Eden Prairie, where Middlestead will chase it around, but he's beaten to the puck by Boltman. Boltman able to send it up into the neutral zone. Eden Prairie possessing up high in their own zone as that one bleeds through along the bench areas, and Boltman will send it in deep. Eden Prairie playing it around their net. Now along the near side boards in the corner. Yes, Jones able to push that one out into the neutral zone. Eden Prairie into the offensive zone. Shot on goal by Conan, gets a rebound, but able to only get a little bit on it, and it pops up wide. Rebound bounced pretty much right to him, Bart, but he couldn't get much on it because he got tied up from behind.
Yeah, and then the puck kind of rolled, so no follow-up opportunity, but it was a good initial shot. If they can keep getting those and keep crashing the net, good things are going to happen.
Good job by Grain to come out of the battle with the puck. There's a long shot on Mackay. He's able to send that one up to the end wall area. Rudrud behind the net gets tied up by two defenders, and that one sent over the top of the net by Grain.
Boy, short side, he didn't miss by much.
Grain taking a couple hits from Vorlicki. There's a shot that deflects off a couple of bodies. Rudrud with it in the corner for Eden Prairie, looking to reverse direction, and he puts a shot on goal, held onto by Mackay.
Wow, it's nice to see number 7 in the red out there. He was missing during that Wayzata game, and he was noticeably absent. He brings a nice dynamic. He brings experience to this team. He brings veteran leadership, but he has offensive skill. He can make things happen. But Eden Prairie, a really nice sequence down in this Edina Hornet zone. Really has Edina somewhat on the ropes. They just have to keep going, and keep getting through it and winning the shifts.
Now that one bleeds through. There's a shot. Mackay able to drop down and prevent that one from getting by him, and that one sent wide. I think we've talked a lot about some of these players, such as Rudrud and Pikowski. They don't show up on the stat sheet a lot, but they'll make a big impact every time they're out there.
Well, they have a bit of a lunch pail group.
If that one just...
Boy, that's Sammy Walker. He's on the Autobahn because there's no speed limit in his world. He's so difficult to contain because he's so shifty. He's got a great north-south game, but he can also go east-west. His feet are very active, and his hands are lightning quick. So, boy, I'm sure the defenders' eyes get big when they see him with a head of steam coming forward, but they weathered that threat face-off now to Dietrich's right.
Face-off still loose in the circle. Now poked out along the near side board. It'll be now played behind the net. Be held in there. Good job by the Hornets as Walker with it. Walker will get it back up. Now Brinkman with it. Brinkman whiffed on it briefly. Now able to send it down into the corner. Tied up behind the net. It's kind of loose out front, but now here come the Eagles the other way into the neutral zone. Yes, Conan gets tied up, but he'll be able to poke it down. Mackay behind his own net. That one deflecting just wide of the cage as Conan tried to center it to Jones. And Edina back the other way. With a shot high into Dietrich. He'll hold on to it with the glove with 4:43 to go here in the first period.
Well, I think anything that Dietrich can get his hands on, he's going to try to cover. I can stream it on my phone, but I don't want to use all my data, so I'm trying to do it on here and it won't work.
What's going on?
We just rebooted the system. We didn't have sound for a little while.
Welcome back, everybody, to Braemar Arena as we get set to start the second period. Edina with a 1-0 lead, the 23rd goal of the year for Sam Walker, but very impressive play from Eden Prairie in that first period, Bart.
Yeah, in fact, shots on goal favored Eden Prairie 11-9, and a lot of those were pretty good quality shots where Mackay had to come out and make the save. The official scoring is Walker's 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki at the 3:26 mark, but that's where we stand right now. But I really like what I saw from Eden Prairie. Now they're going to have to turn it up a notch and play just a little bit better. They have the long line change. Very important to get off early. Hard to defend against Edina with tired legs, but again, play responsible, stay out of the box, but just keep putting pressure on Edina and make them come the full 200 feet. Very impressed with the way Eden Prairie played that first period.
Face off at center ice, controlled by Edina. They'll be coming to the near side for the second period as Dietrich sort of mishandles that puck behind the net. And Edina able to poke it out, but here comes Carson Jones with it. Middlestead into the neutral zone. He's tied up by 3 green jerseys there, though. Here's Irwin bringing it through neutral ice. He'll throw that one in on Mackay. It was an impressive shot from the blue line. That thing just kind of whizzed in there on the Edina goaltender, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Yeah, Mackay made that save, and it made it look easy, but you can see Middlestead trying to come out of the zone, and he was surrounded by all white jerseys, and that's the challenges the teams face when they play against Edina. They're a very responsible defensive team, not a lot of room to move, so you have to know what you're going to do, get rid of the puck as quick as you can, but keep moving it forward.
Bykowski tied up by Brinkman as he played it around the Edina net. Puck loose along the far side boards. Edina now coming through center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's Cole Cavanaugh. He'll throw that one into the far side corner. Play it around to Walker. Walker will bank it off the near side boards. As Lesko couldn't quite poke that one into the zone, but now they have the stoppage of play.
Well, it was a hand pass that originated from the defensive zone, but we're going to bring it all the way back. But I think it was actually Mason Nevers is on this line, and he really brings the dynamic. This is a young man that can actually, we've seen his development from being a youngster. Now he plays a very mature game right now, but he's got some solid hands, some great ability. So number 18 in the white, player to keep an eye on.
Walker to take the face-off against Carson Jones. Now a discussion with the Edina bench. Kurt Giles getting an explanation of some kind. Now Edina comes out with the face-off. It's Mason Nevers, and he throws that one toward the middle, lining up for a blast into traffic that goes off of Middlestead's skate. Come into the near side corner, or far side corner rather, excuse me. Here's Middlestead. Middlestead working his way around a couple of Edina defenders. And Edina back the other way. Here's Middlestead as he worked his way through the zone. Langfels loses control of that one. It banks off the near side boards. It'll float its way down into the Edina zone. Hornets bringing it up into neutral ice. Into the offensive zone. Centering feed for Walker. Walker able to get a nice shot out of nothing. Rebound deflection. Scoots its way into the corner. It plays its way back out to the Hornets on the north side as Vorlicki will play it around the corner behind the net. Tied up with a couple of Eden Prairie players, but Edina comes out with it with Jungles. Jungles looking for something. He'll get it back down. And will be banked off the near side boards. Vorlicki looking to center it as this one will clang its way back out toward the blue line.
Great stick by Langfeld to stop that pass.
As Langfeld puts on a hit in the corner. With Nevers and Walker tied up with him, and now Carson Jones joining the fray. Now we'll have a frozen puck with 14:42 to go here in the second period.
Well, the referees tried to let them kind of work that one out. A resolution was not in order, so he blew the whistle. And both teams, generally, if they're on for 30, 40 seconds and they get a whistle, they're going to change and get the fresh legs out there. Eden Prairie put a good spacing on that, gave Edina a little room to move on the periphery, but getting in tight, Eden Prairie's been clamping down defensively, supporting their goaltender.
Edina wins the face-off. Komatzis gets it up high, and that goes off the stick of Dietrich all the way up into the ceiling, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, that's where possession comes into. You have to win the dot face-off in your own zone. Got it back to Brinkman. Good shot. Komatzis ramped it up and out of play. Low ceilings here, but went off an Eden Prairie stick, so face-off in the Eden Prairie zone.
Brinkman whiffs on the pass, and Eden Prairie will be able to get it out to neutral ice. That one skips out ahead of Lesko. Edina back into the offensive zone as that one goes off the skate and then just out of reach of Crosby on the loose puck. That one thrown toward the net, and Dietrich falling down. I don't know if he got a piece of that one or not, but it ended up high off the end wall.
Well, that was an unnatural reaction to that shot, so his feet might have got taken out in all the confusion, but the puck stayed out of the net. That's Eden Prairie's primary goal.
Komatzis throws it down low. Back to Komatzis. He scores!
Wow.
Demetrios Komatzis has their 14th goal of the year. It's 2-0 Edina.
Yeah, and Komatzis is one of these players where you kind of take him for granted a little bit. He's got a whole bunch of skill involved. You kind of take him for granted, but that was a good shot. I think it went between the arm and the actual chest protector of Dietrich on that one, but nice feed by Crosby from behind the goal. Playing behind the defenseman is something that Edina can do. Got it out to Komatzis, and he put that home. 2-0 lead Edina. And we're just about 3 minutes into this second period, so Edina again strikes early, up to Eden Prairie to respond. They're down by 2 now. They have to kind of limit this momentum that Edina's gathered at the beginning of the second period.
Officially 2:59 will be that time of goal. Using my California math skills there. Play moves down deep into the Eden Prairie zone, offensive zone rather, now with a fight developing in the corner. Wilhite tied up. Now Rudru trying to come out with it. It's centered. Pajkowski tried to redirect. Rather, that was Grain. My apologies. It's held onto by Mackay.
Well, again, you don't have to come back and score, but you have to come back with possession, put pressure on, and that's exactly what they did. And Grain is one of those players that really is got a little grit to him. He's got a little speed to him, but he makes things happen. He really makes people make plays, and he didn't let us down on that one. But pretty good pushback from Eden Prairie. Good response after that goal.
Eden Prairie wins the face-off, but then losing it off of his stick was Jungles, and now play moves down into the neutral zone. Here comes Edina into the offensive zone with some speed. There's a shot on Dietrich. He'll hold on to it with the glove.
Well, Boris was coming up the left wing side. He likes to go to the net, but pretty good defensive play. I believe it was Krebsbach who challenged him for Eden Prairie, but he also had Shoemaker in the middle looking for that pass, but he had to take the shot. Dietrich did the right responsible thing by holding on to that for a faceoff.
Jones wins the faceoff against Shoemaker. Puck banks off the back of the net, moves into the near side corner. As Jones trying to get it out of there, but Edina will come out with it with Borst. Borst will get it back over to Shoemaker. Back up, winding up for the blast into traffic. It's loose out front, and Conan will come out with it for the Eagles. Conan trying to steer his way through center ice. He'll be poked off the puck by Vorlicki as play moves behind the Edina net into the far side corner. Borst will have it there for the Hornets, but he'll be knocked off of that one. Play moving back into the far side corner. Rings its way around the Edina net into the near side corner area. So the second period starting out quite a bit like the first period. Edina got that fairly quick goal in the first period. It's working its way in, but then being knocked off, trying to work its way into the middle. Here's Pajkowski. Pajkowski with a shot that's deflected up into the netting.
Well, busy stick by Brinkman on that one, but good speed through the neutral zone by Pajkowski. That's what Eden Prairie's going to have to do, but a nice challenge by Brinkman at the line. You have to use that blue line as a natural line of defense, but when when Kona gets going, he's got some speed, he's got some size, plus he has some skill, but nice defensive pushback by the Edina defender.
Paikowski eventually wins the face-off. That one, Langfell's lined up for the shot.
Paikowski's about the only one to have success in the dot for the Eden Prairie squad. He's going to take a lot of big face-offs from this point forward if he keeps with that success.
Brinkman bringing it around the Edina net. He takes a big hit there from Lesko. Jensen able to get the puck for the Eagles there. It floats its way down back into the corner. Oh, some big hit put on there. That was Jensen who put the hit on Komatzis.
Emotions are getting a little up, so is the intensity.
Really, Edina quickly back into the offensive zone. A couple of hits there. Langfells and Irwin putting on those hits there, but it trickles back out. And there's a shot that deflects off the body of Crosby. Edina banking it off the near side boards. Back up for Licky, whose shot goes off a skate. Lining up for Komatzis, and he takes a blast that's steered aside with the pad by Dietrich.
Good save by Dietrich, directed it into the corner.
Crosby tied up behind the net by Langfells. Lesko down there as well. Komatzis comes out with it. Komatzis, he hits the side of the net. What an effort there by Komatzis.
He's very elusive. But I think it really started, Patrick, from Crosby and his work down low. Crosby's just one of those players. We talk about the Walkers and the Komatzis, but Crosby can hold a candle to those guys, but he's one of the great reasons why this Edina team has had this early success so far this season.
Jensen will send it back in behind the Edina net, now into the near side corner. Edina trying to get it toward the blue line. Poke it into the neutral zone where Pager has it for Eden Prairie. Be deflected down, Grain chasing after it for the Eagles. Forlicki will get to it first for Edina. And Komatzi sends it toward the blue line, held in by the Eagles.
There's that confidence from Pager holding that blue line, and look what ensues. They keep the puck in the zone, keep Edina at bay. Nice job by the Eden Prairie defenseman.
Edina possessing it in the far side corner. Komatzi banks it off the far side boards. It drifts its way down into the Eden Prairie zone, and Dietrich has to cover it in front of a non-charging Mason Nevers.
Yeah, and Nevers took a little shot at Dietrich, and I think Pager took exception of that. Nice step up by Argetsinger at the blue line, really to stop that forward progress. So they're doing all the things the right way. And if Edina does get some looks, Dietrich's come up big. Only 2 tallies against him so far. He's made a number of big saves to keep his team buoyant.
Jones taking the face-off against Shoemaker. Said Bart, that intensity, the chippiness has really started. There's some more physical play coming off the face-off as Argetsinger putting the physical play on Bjorn Swanson. Play moving back down into the Edina zone. Bring it along the near side boards, now through center ice, where it's chipped back toward the Edina zone by Argetsinger. Left there by Pager. Pager harassed. He banks it off the near side boards. Edina possessing it high in their zone. Now here they come into the offensive zone with Swanson. Swanson looking to center it, and they just whiffed on that one.
Wow, it was a good play by Swanson. The trailer sometimes can be the most dangerous. He put it right on the stick, but it rolled.
Well, that one toward the net, deflected into the corner.
I don't think Dietrich saw that one.
Over to Mason Reiners. Yeah, Bart, I don't think. That one just kind of went completely through everything. And here's the play behind the net by Shoemaker. We have a penalty coming. There's a shove after the play as well.
And Argetsinger better keep his wits about him. That should be a penalty right there. I hate to say it against Shoemaker. You don't kick the stick. But Argetsinger got a little aggressive, wrapped him up a little bit, but that's what happens when you move your feet. You force the defenseman to make a play, and if he can't move his feet, they have a tendency to reach out with their stick or their hands, and that's exactly what happened. But Eden Prairie putting themselves behind the 8 ball a little bit. 8:56 left in the second period, down by 2. But now they're a man down, offensive zone faceoff for the Hornets, and they've had good success in the dot. Lee Smith counters with Paikowski in the faceoff dot.
Is Eden Prairie able to win the faceoff? Another faceoff win for Paikowski, Bart.
He's been effective.
So Eden Prairie, or Edina, able to control it quickly and getting lucky down there with Walker.
Well, Edina likes to incorporate their defensemen in the back, and we do have Vorlicki back there with Brinkman, so 2 pretty formidable offensive skilled players back in the back line. And what they do is they'll draw the defenders out, and then they got 3 right around the goal. So if they can get that through the first line of defense, it's a pretty good situation for Edina.
Jones with the faceoff against Walker, possessed by Edina. That one deflected up into the netting.
I have you, Patrick. If that net wasn't there, I would have protected you on that one. But again, those busy sticks, and you don't have to do the big booming check. It's not necessarily blocking the shots with your shin pads, but if you get your stick on the puck and ramp it up out of play, you can kind of do a reset, regroup, and win the faceoff again.
Edina controlling the faceoff. Get it back up high to Vorlicki. Vorlicki with it again. Jungles trying to get it down low, just out of reach on the centering pass. And Jones able to beat Brinkman to that one, but Edina holds. They get it down low to Walker. Walker with that one poked away by Irwin, and Walker sends it back toward the far side boards. Vorlicki with it, winding up for a blast as Brinkman, and that one goes wide.
Boy, Eden Prairie getting a little linear. They're giving Edina some space to move.
Looking down low, and that one goes off the side of the net. Net coming loose again.
Yeah, net off the moorings. What Edina likes to do is they like to bring their defenseman in on the power play unit, but if you can get a competent forward like a Judd Jungles to control the puck along the half wall, it changes the dynamic on how they're going to defend you. It really opens up some space, but I think Eden Prairie just got guilty of chasing the puck a little bit. They got a little bit too much of a straight line, gave Edina a lot of room, put a lot of pressure on Dietrich, but so far he's answered the bell.
1 minute remaining in the power play, and Eden Prairie will get a clear.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go in the offensive zone. They score! Short-handed goal.
And that's Conan that got that goal. And that's going to be a 7th goal of the year, but what a great goal. Just opportunity knocked for Conan. Took the puck in all alone. And really made Mackay commit first and foremost, pulled it to his backhand and just put it into a relatively open net on that one. But that's got to give Eden Prairie some push. But keep in mind that Edina still got 50 seconds on the power play, so they have every opportunity to answer. But what a great burst of energy Conan gave that Eden Prairie bench. They're up, they're engaged, and they have energy, and that's what you want. But they still have a 50-second challenge ahead of them, and then 7:46 left in this period. But good things for Eden Prairie on that shift.
Vorlicki controlling the face-off for Edina. Now Conan getting that short-handed breakaway goal. That was just what the doctor ordered. They'll
take a couple more of those if they can get them.
Absolutely. So here's Vorlicki back to Brinkman. Vorlicki has to stop that one with his skate. Lining up for the blast and trying to set something up on a redirect. It's Crosby trying to work, that's Walker trying to work his way in. Stick loose.
They never break it a good time.
Vorlicki winding up for the blast, saved by Dietrich. That was Brinkman who let that one go.
Nice save by Dietrich, directed the puck in the corner.
It's Brinkman getting it back down low to Nevers. Nevers tied up by Langfels. Jensen able to clear that one out. Power play over, so Eden Prairie +1 on the penalty kill. Can't argue with that.
No, if you're Lee Smith, you have to feel very good about the effort your boys gave you.
That shot goes wide down into the corner. Nevers with it. He's tied up by Jensen and Rudrud. That shot into the middle is blocked. Brinkman able to come out with it. Brinkman pretty heavily involved on the offensive side of things. This one comes out front, and that shot goes wide.
Well, sometimes Brinkman gets a little bit aggressive and puts his team in some vulnerable moments, but his skill set is certainly a benefit.
Vorlicki driving in, and that one tipped wide by Dietrich.
That's a big save.
Jungles with a shot that goes off the glove of Dietrich. So Edina ramping up the pressure.
Indeed they are.
Was Rudrud able to bank it off the boards down back into the Edina zone. Brinkman there, chased by Jensen. Brinkman will throw it off the near side boards. Here comes Edina back into the zone with Komatzi. He's just out of reach on the centering feed. Trying to get that one to Colby. They continuing behind the net. And poked back up toward Boltman. He'll play it around the net. Pager with it. Pager will send it to the near side. Lesko has it now for the Eagles. He'll throw that one into the neutral zone. Hit put on by Wilhite at the blue line. Komadzi's trying to turn it up nice, but he gets knocked off the puck. Good work there by Pikowski. Let's it back down into the Edina zone. 5:20 now remaining in the period. Crosby along the far side boards. This one thrown toward Dietrich, and it kind of comes in on him like a baseball line drive. It's Horton almost knocked off the puck in his own zone. Able to be held in by Edina at the blue line. That one thrown toward Dietrich, and he'll deflect it up into the netting with a stick.
Well, Horton, a pretty good shift. First time I think we've called his name tonight, but he's one of those defensemen that Lee Smith can go to when needed. But he made a nice play, kind of rang the puck around the boards, and that's something that you can't do against Edina. They don't bail on the line, so that little sequence was because they couldn't do the clear. You have to be a little more responsible. Sometimes it's almost better to eat the puck than to just give it away. But they lived to tell the tale. Just under 5 minutes to go in the second period. Eden Prairie only down by 1 now. Edina's pushing though hard.
Rudrud wins the face-off against Shoemaker. Middlestat sends that one up to Rudrud. Rudrud working his way through center ice will dump that one down into the corner. Conan chasing it for the Eagles. Now it's out front, and Mackay will have to glove it.
Well, Conan did a nice thing by putting some pressure on Reimers back there, and almost got a better look, but they turned and fired shallow angle shot. Mackay gathered that one up, but again, a nice sequence by Eden Prairie. They went down, got the puck, won the battle, and got a shot on goal. If they can keep doing that, it makes Edina come the full 200 feet, and that's a pretty good situation for Eden Prairie.
Orlicki sends it out into the neutral zone. Eagles playing it in front of their bench. They'll poke it into their offensive zone. Still out in front of the bench areas on the far side boards. Now Edina able to bring it down into their offensive zone. Argetsinger will take a hit behind the net. I think actually Shoemaker got the worst of that one.
Could have been interference on Shoemaker.
That one thrown toward the net. That'll go loudly off the end wall. Play continuing with Langfels. Langfels getting tied up by Swanson. Conan coming out with it for the Eagles. He'll circle his net. He'll throw that one, float that one down through the neutral zone. That'll go all the way down for an icing with 3:51 remaining in the period.
Well, I thought that was actually going to be waived. It looked like Edina made a play on that, and he just missed it. But again, the letter of the law, they're going to go with the icing. 3:51. Very important 3:51 for both teams. Edina really turning up the heat on Eden Prairie. A lot of zone time lately. Eden Prairie's got to weather this storm, but get back to what they were doing, getting the puck down the ice and making Edina come down. But if you can get a solid forecheck, he can get some pressure on Mackay before this period's up and maybe tie this thing up.
Walker wins the face-off. Edina controls. This one sent around by Nevers. We tie up behind the net as Jungles and eventually Jensen comes out with it for the Eagles. Jensen into the offensive zone with speed along the far side. Look to throw that one toward the net, but there's nobody there except a couple of green and white jerseys. Edina back the other way. Streaking up the near side is Walker. Walker in. Walker with a shot over the top of the net.
Oh, ran the dasher all the way out of the zone.
Verlicki couldn't hold that one in, as you said, Bart. And here's Lesko carrying it into the offensive zone, but he falls to the ice, and Edina will bring it back out into the neutral zone. Irwin able to poke it back out to neutral ice. Bykowski with it. He'll work his way into the middle. He'll throw that one toward the net. Mackay sort of reaches for it with the stick, as Verlicki plays it into the near side, far side corner rather. Pager plays it at the blue line. Work its way around the net once again. Here's Verlicki circling directions. Have the puck poked away from him, and Edina will send it into the neutral zone. Nice job by Irwin as Walker tried to get behind him. Here's Nevers. Nevers with a shot. Oh, just missed on the redirect by Jet Jungles. Jungles will get it back around to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh throws that one toward the net, and they just missed on that one as well. A delayed penalty coming.
It's going to be a high stick and penalty. Just a question of who it's on. And it looks like it's going to be on Jet Jungles, or at least he's looking very guilty right now. Oh. But he's making his way to the box. Just 2:09 left in the second period. What a great opportunity this for Eden Prairie. Right now on the power play, they're only down by 1. They weathered the Edina onslaught of late, but now they get an opportunity to possess the puck with a man advantage. They have to make it count, but guess who's going to go to the faceoff, Dot, you think?
Bykowski.
I'm thinking it probably is. And he's going to go against Crosby, who's not a bad face-off artist, and that's Lewis Crosby.
Looks like going to be Jensen who takes the face-off for Eden Prairie there. Surprisingly, we have seen Bykowski win a bunch of those face-offs as Irwin able to hold it in. Eagles coming out of the corner. Irwin working his way to the middle, throws it toward the net. It's deflected out. Here comes Walker in. He sends that one wide. Penalty coming. And Crosby on the drive, and he was hooked in that sort of desperation.
Yeah, it was Keegan Langfels that kind of blew a tire, couldn't get his feet under him, and it was Irwin that had to take that penalty. It was Crosby coming in virtually all alone, but just the interruption from Irwin really kept them from getting a good quality shot. So I guess if it's ever going to be a good penalty, that's going to be a good penalty to take. We're going to be 4-on-4 for 137 and 146 left in the period, barring another penalty. So a lot of space out there, a lot of speed out there for Hornets. Answers Jack Jensen and Spencer Rudrud. So Eden Prairie's got some speed as well. This should be fun.
Rudrud wins the face-off against Komatzis. Pass bleeds through all the way to the far side boards. Rudrud able to hold it in on the far side. Edina plays it around their net. Bring it up through center ice. Argetsinger there to intercept it. He'll send that one back down in deep. Reiner's playing it. They'll look to send that one toward the neutral zone, but they'll have to get out of their own zone first. They'll bank it off the far side boards. Still in the Eden Prairie zone, and Jensen trying to make a play on it. What an effort by Jensen down there as it's poked into the corner. And just out front of Jensen, that could have been a disastrous sequence there for Edina. That one thrown toward the net. That one will roll its way around back into the neutral zone.
Boy, you got to get those on goal.
Jensen fighting his way through a couple of stick checks. We'll look to center it for Rudrud. That'll work its way into the far side corner. Well, from here, everything's the far side, Bart.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little challenging.
Eden Prairie in the zone with Komatzis. He gets it up for Crosby. Back to Komatzis. Komatzis, what a play! Oh, just off the crossbar. Just missed there.
Boy, they're not done yet.
Crosby setting up. They score! And we'll have a little bit of extracurricular after that one.
Well, and I think it might have actually deflected off an Eden Prairie defenseman and into the net. Kind of an unfortunate situation for Eden Prairie. And penalties don't come out because they're 4-on-4. But boy, Edina, in the waning moments of the second period, really put a bit of a dagger into Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie had some good possession 4-on-4. One of the few teams, I think, speed-wise, that can keep up with Edina 4-on-4. Jensen did that, but Edina doesn't need much of an opportunity to make it cash in. But they got very fortunate on that one. I think it went off the Eden Prairie defender. And then Komatzis took a little exception to Argetsinger that gave him a little shot after that. A little frustration, but again, they were down before. Here we go.
I believe the goal will be credited to Crosby. That'll be his 11th of the season. And thrown toward the net. They score! Eden Prairie answers with 2.6 remaining in the period.
Well, judging from the energy, I think it's Carson Jones that scored his 9th. But boy, what a big goal that is for Eden Prairie. That's got to put some energy back into the bloodstream. But Edina, I think they got a little lazy. I think once 15 seconds left, they thought they were just going to round out the period. But Eden Prairie had different ideas. Worked the puck down low, got the puck in, and it was Carson Jones, no stranger to that area. He makes it count. Now they're down by 1. We're going to go into this period with a 1-goal game. If you're Coach Lee Smith, you have to feel exceptionally well about how your team has not only played but responded in the face of adversity. If you're Edina, boy, they just keep doing what they do. It's really difficult to contain, but so far Eden Prairie's answered a couple of those riddles. But it's going to be an exceptionally exciting third period.
Especially have to see with the way that this the intensity on both sides has really ramped up. And as you said, Bart, it looked like a couple of times Edina was about to maybe start to coast into the win column a little bit once again, but Eden Prairie twice saying, don't go away yet.
Absolutely, and I think Edina is going to get a little bit of an earful from their coach on that one. You have to play the full 17 minutes, and that's what Edina's really mantra is they're a very hard-working team. I think they just let up, and Eden Prairie took advantage of that opportunity. I'm sure Edina's not going to let that happen again, but what a great showing from Eden Prairie to finish out that period to pull it within 1. It's going to be a great third period. Don't go away.
Interesting to note, both of those goals coming shorthanded in that period for the Eagles.
Something.
So special teams working in the opposite direction for the Eagles tonight. They're +2 in the penalty kill. Can't ask for much more than that. So we'll go to the second intermission here on stateofhockey.com, presented tonight by Tavern on 4 and 5, Green Mill, Walzer Toyota.
And Shirts Unlimited, I believe.
Shirts Unlimited, you're right, Bart. So thank you to those sponsors this evening. We're going to take a timeout, come back in about 12 minutes with the start of the third period.
I need this.
Welcome back, everybody, to Braemar Arena, where Edina leads 3-2. Looks out to the out-of-town scoreboard. Minnetonka had a 2-0 lead over Wayzata. That was at the end of the first period, so a little while to go on that one. A little bit slow trickling in information on that one. Other top 10 scores: St. Thomas with a 6-1 lead over Simley. Duluth East beat Bloomington Jefferson 5-1. Score that really jumped out at both of us, Bart. Creighton Durham Hall 10-1 over number 5 Holy Family.
And Holy Family's a darn good squad, so big win.
What do you make of the Raiders? They go into Holy Family, Chanhassen, they come away with that 9-goal win. What do you think about the Raiders?
Well, I think obviously it's a statement that they're making. They can score goals in bunches, plus they can defend against a very good Holy Family squad. But sometimes when games get a little out of hand, you kind of lose the mojo to win the battles, and things kind of manifest into a bigger entity than they should be. But I'm sure Holy Family would like a rematch, but a very impressive win by the Raiders.
And I have the rest of the top 10 scores. White Bear Lake 5-1 over East Ridge. Number 9 Andover 3-2 over Duluth Marshall. Those games both finals. And Moorhead had a 2-1 lead over Rogers at last check.
Well, that's your out-of-town scoreboard. What we have here going on is a 1-goal game going into the third period. A summary of the scoring: it was Walker that opened the scoring in the first period at the 3:26 mark with his 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki. Then Edina answered in the second period early at the 3:01 mark. It was Komatsis from Crosby. And then Eden Prairie answered shorthanded at the 7:46 mark. It was Conan with his 7th. And then Crosby answered back at the 16:45 mark, unassisted with his 11th. And then another shorty by the Eden Prairie Eagles at the 16:56 mark. Just 4 seconds remaining. Jones scored his 9th from Horton and Conan. Shots on goal that period: 17 for Edina, 2-period total of 26. And 7 for Eden Prairie, 2-period total of 18. But boy, this really has the makings to be a very intense 17 minutes and perhaps more if Eden Prairie can have their way. They just have to survive, I think, the first 2 or 3 minutes, because I think they're going to face a very motivated Edina squad and focused. I'm sure Kurt Giles had a couple words to say, probably not too terribly much, but just kind of reset the kids. But if you're Coach Lee Smith, the kids are focused, they're motivated. You just have to make sure that they stay out of the penalty box and play the responsible game that they've played for 2 periods so far. It's going to have to continue, but it gets down, Patrick, to winning every shift, winning every one-on-one battle. If you lose a couple, that's fine, but you just have to keep your resiliency up. You have to get the pushback, but it's going to be exciting. Here we go.
Edina will open the third period with 14 seconds of face-off time, Bart, and for a team like Edina, that can be an eternity, but Eden Prairie able to send it down into the defensive zone. That'll kill off the rest of the Edina power play. Brinkman will chase it around his net, harassed by Jones. We'll get it back to Vorlicki behind his own net. Send it up to Jungles. Jungles bringing it through the neutral zone. He'll send that one down into the far side corner, where Argetsinger will send it to one of the Edina players there to clean it up. That looked like that was Walker who took care of that, and now back out into the neutral zone and dump back into the corner. Eden Prairie back the other way. Went out of the reach of Lesko at center ice. Boltman able to send that one down.
Well, and then the puck up and out of play, but Edina's shown some good energy out of the get-go. Being up by a man didn't do much for Edina, but they did bring it down, put Eden Prairie a little bit on the ropes, but I think that was kind of what we expected from this Edina Hornet team. We're very early. We're under a minute into this third period. Eden Prairie just got to kind of hang on a little bit. They look a little vulnerable coming out, but that's because of the Edina pushback, not anything that Eden Prairie's done.
Eden Prairie eventually controls the face-off, but it was all the way behind their own net. Puck is loose out front, and it eventually swept down onto the near side boards. Brinkman sending it up top for Crosby. Crosby will look to drive. He'll look to center it, and it comes out. It's loose in the corner on the near side now.
That's a big save by Dietrich. Blocker into the corner. Well done.
Bykowski putting on a big hit for Eden Prairie. Play continuing in the near side corner. Eventually chipped out, but held in. Looking to center it, and that one just goes wide.
Oh.
And back down to Brinkman. Brinkman, not sure if he was trying to pass that one or shoot it, but it ended up taking a very weird angle, and it'll bounce all the way down into the Edina zone, but it'll be an icing call.
Yeah, that did take a funny care, but Lesko showing his physical presence in his own zone really kind of put everybody's head on a swivel. Eden Prairie chasing the play just a little bit, but not getting into the areas. But Dietrich made a really good save, and that was after he lost his stick, tried to find his stick, and a lot of times goaltenders can lose their focus. He went right back into position and then waffled one into the corner, so got right back on his game. Nice job by the Eden Prairie goaltender.
Face-off controlled by Boltman, and that one goes wide as he tried to get it into the center of the ice. Brings its way around the...
Oh, Wilhite's hurt.
Wilhite having to get off the ice. He took that. That's a upper body injury for Licky. Conan, nice work there with the stick, and he ends up taking it away. Conan into the offensive zone. Play it behind the Edina net. Grain is hit there. Now Rudrud joins the fray down there as well. Argetsinger trying to send it back into the Edina zone, but he can't. Hornets bring it back up into the offensive zone. Argetsinger there tied up with Shoemaker. Play moves into the near side corner.
Argetsinger lost the stick.
As Verlicki trying to wind up for a drive. That goes off the leg of Rudrud. Puck is still loose. Go out to Brinkman. Brinkman threw that one toward the net. That one went off of somebody. Conan plays it around the net. Still got... There was one stick on the ice, and then looked like somebody kind of dropped their stick trying to reverse direction, too. And so that one ends up...
There's sticks everywhere.
Bounces in on Dietrich, who easily kicks it aside. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Here comes Jensen into the offensive zone, but he loses the puck as he tried to pull up.
Well, even the puck couldn't keep up with Jensen's speed on that one.
Fight continuing. Here's Lesko behind the net. And that one just out of reach of Middlestat.
Uh-oh.
That one out of reach of Jungles. Or Edina could have had something cooking there as they brought it back into their offensive end. Reiner's playing it around the net. They'll look to center it. And Eden Prairie able to take it away. They'll bring it into the neutral zone. Here they come. Here's Middlestat. Middlestat and Brinkman collide. Brinkman able to get up and clear the puck back to neutral. Here come the Hornets into the zone. And tied up trying to drive toward the net. Langfell's behind the net for the Eagles trying to tie up. Eventually we'll have a stoppage of play.
Well, kind of a trying moment for the Eden Prairie Eagles, seeing Ben Walker coming down with Jungles and Nevers with numbers down there. But I will say one thing. This Eden Prairie defensive core has battled all night tonight behind, down low, protecting their goaltender. They can do a little better in front, but behind the net, they're winning the battles against the Edina Hornets and putting a little bit of physical hurt on them as well. So nice job.
They score! It's Komatzis again.
Wow.
Komatzis off the face-off. It's 4-2 Edina.
Well, that's going to be his 15th goal of the season, second goal of the night, but that's what happens when you win those face-offs. You get possession. Nice job by Edina to win an offensive zone face-off over to Komatzis, and he in one motion just beat the goaltender pretty clean, boosting the lead now to 4-2, but Eden Prairie's had a good job of responding to Edina's success. Now their challenge is to respond again. Doesn't get any easier from this point, but that's what Komatzis does for this team. Gives them the goal when they need the energy, and he did just that. Second goal of the night, big goal it was.
So another early period goal for Edina. They've scored within the first 3 minutes of all three periods. And here comes Rudrud down into the zone. He'll bank it off the near side boards. Rather, that's Pager, my apologies. Edina playing it behind the net. Morlicki winding up. Headed up and winding up for the blast is Brinkman. Rather, that's Boltman, my apologies. Morlicki banking it off the near side boards. It'll play its way around the net. Got loose out front and swept out of there by the Eagles. Gorlicki will chase it down into the zone, chased by Carson Jones. Getting tied up in the near side corner. Conan down there as well with Boltman. Now along the far side boards, chipped up ahead by Swanson.
Boy, I don't think that's really what Swanson wanted to do on that one. He just wanted to chip it out of the zone, but the official scoring was Komatzis, his 15th from Crosby, his third point of the night, second assist, and Colby at the 4:04 mark. We talked about the first 5 minutes of this period, and obviously Edina answered the bell, but Eden Prairie looks unshaken. They're back to business, but offensive zone time and possession is what they need now.
Well, the clock, though, starting to become their enemy a little bit. We're under 12 minutes to play. Still plenty of time, but it's something that's going to start creeping in very shortly.
Absolutely.
Jensen gets to that puck in the corner first. Jungle's bringing it through center ice as he's trying to fight off Irwin. They move down into the near corner in the Eden Prairie zone. Jungle's tied up now with Pikowski. 4 guys down there now fighting for that puck. Eden Prairie eventually comes out with it. Jensen up the near side. The one poked off of him. Pikowski ties up Reiners behind the net. The Eagles Edina quickly the other way. Jungle's looking to center it. That one just out of reach. A little wobbly pass. Now still loose to the left of Dietrich, and eventually he'll cover it up.
Well, a nice transition zone exit for this Edina Hornet team. Came out very efficiently, came through the neutral zone of speed, and again put pressure on Dietrich. Eden Prairie, the fight is still there, but Edina's got them back on their heels in a reactive mode. When Eden Prairie has success, they're pushing the pace, they're putting pressure on Edina. Now Edina, it seems like they're starting to find that rhythm and getting the puck to the open man and using those blades like they can and putting some speed in front of Eden Prairie. It's been a challenge for them. They've answered the bell so far, but it looks like the wheels are starting to wobble a little bit on this Eagle squad.
As you said earlier, Bart, these Hornets can make these little innocuous plays turn very dangerous in a hurry. These little dump-ins, suddenly you've got guys crashing the net and generating opportunities.
And they have a propensity to get the puck through traffic to those open guys, but Edina is very, very good at going to the net with numbers and support, but yeah, it doesn't take much to give Edina much of a chance, but they're very good at cashing in on them. But Eden Prairie, all they need is something positive to happen, whether it be a hit, getting out of the zone clean, but they just have to get something positive to build on.
Edina wins the face-off once again. Here's Boltman toward the net. They score! We'll have to see who may have deflected that one in, if anybody.
Well, it might be Crosby if there is, but I think they're going to give that one to Boldman. But it was Crosby and also Colby that was in the area. We'll wait for the official scoring. I don't think Edina Hornets care who scored, but they got another tally on the board. But all intents and purposes, looks like Boldman's going to get credit for that one. And for him, it's the second goal of the year. But that's really a tough one for Eden Prairie to overcome. Now they're down by 3 really effective shots. But Edina just seems like they're playing comfortable again. And where the Eden Prairie made them uncomfortable, Edina seems to have found their stride. I think it's going to be a timeout for Lee Smith and the Eden Prairie Eagles. Not a bad time to reset. There's still plenty of time left.
Oh, Boltman getting his second of the year. Certainly, as you were saying, Bart, the wheels were starting to wobble a little bit for the Eagles. They played hard all night, but when you're up against this juggernaut Edina team, eventually the Hornets will start to wear you down a bit, and it looked like that might start to be the case tonight as a couple of quick goals for the Hornets here in the third.
And that's what the Hornets can do. You can't play against the jersey. You play against the individual that's wearing the jersey. And Edina's just got so much depth on this team with so much speed up front that it's very difficult for Lee Smith to get his primary matchups out there, not having the last change. I think he's done a masterful job of getting the right personnel out there at the right times, but Edina just if it's not the Crosby line, it's going to come back with a different line or a different line beyond that. So Edina's just got a wealth of riches, and they're not afraid to flex their offensive muscles, and that's what they're in the process of doing right now. Up to Eden Prairie to respond. Good timeout by Lee Smith. Just get the kids refocused again. Still plenty of time. Just under 11 minutes to go. 3 good shots away, but getting that first one is going to be the big challenge. They have to get on that task right now.
So an uphill battle continuing as we're now under 11 minutes to play. And the Eagles push it down into the offensive zone. Trying to pick it up is Reiners. Reiners will play it back around. Swanson up the near side, but he has that one poked back in. Laying it behind their net, Brinkman. Brinkman will push it up ahead to Borst. Borst met by a couple of red jerseys, but the puck continues to drift down into the Eden Prairie zone. The Eagles now able to poke it back out. There's Shoemaker for Edina. Shoemaker trying to drive toward the net. Get it back up to the far side boards. Bank it back out. Lining up for a blast was Reiners. The Eagles back the other direction. Pikowski fighting his way through a couple of sticks of both Brinkman and Reiners. And now Edina back into the offensive zone. As Brinkman gets tied up. Been able to be held in by the Hornets at the blue line. Borst up there up high to hold that one in as it just kind of wobbled toward him. Play continuing behind the Eden Prairie net. Bukowski will send it back around the near side. Come the Eagles back the other direction. Throw that one in deep. Guy will poke at it with the stick as Boltman up ice. Long pass that's out of the reach of Walker. Icing waved off. Middlestat trying to get it up ahead before he takes a hit. Conan harassed by Boltman. Vorlicki with it now in front of his net. Bank it off for Jungles. Jungles up the near side. Jungles throws it toward the net, but it slides all the way to the far side boards. When wobbles in as Edina tried to push it back toward the net. It's Middlestat into the offensive zone. Middlestat trying to get it for Conan, but he's tied up there by a couple of white jerseys. It's Carson Jones in the corner with it as he works his way away from Walker. Jungles takes it away though. Here he comes. That one go off of Argetsinger. Argetsinger able to take it away and bring it back into the offensive zone for the Eagles. His shot is blocked by Crosby. It's Vorlicki behind the net once again.
Well, it was a nice job by Argetsinger to get it deep and get those fresh legs out there. So nice job by the defenseman playing aggressive in the offensive zone.
Yes, Wesco ties up Vorlicki behind the net. Eden Prairie starting to put on some more pressure as we're about to hit the 8 minutes remaining mark of the final period. Jungles will bank it off the board. It'll go into the neutral zone. Crosby just missed on the centering feed. And the Eagles back the other direction. It's Jensen into the zone. Jensen tied up at the last moment by Brinkman. Nice job by Brinkman to catch up to the streaking star Eden Prairie forward.
Well, Jensen's trying to make stuff happen. He just didn't have any support, so he had to take that shot.
As this shot poked by Conan is poked back out on the neutral zone. Here's Komatzis. Komatzis with a shot. It's saved by Dietrich. Puck still loose in the corner.
Dietrich lost the stick again.
Dietrich playing without a stick. That one goes off the end wall.
Komatzis going for the Hattie. He's getting some looks.
The play is stopped, and Dietrich can grab his stick. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Patrick, I was just going to support your point. You know, you brought up about how the clock's the enemy for Eden Prairie. It's not tough enough to try to defend against Edina, but all of a sudden that clock starts moving a little quicker. 7:11 left in regulation time in this third period, down by 3. If they're going to make something happen, they got to make some noise very, very quickly. But the most important thing is win the final 7 minutes of this period. And so if you do lose this game, you still have some positives to draw from this.
Vorlicki's drive goes wide. It drifts its way up into the corner. Shoemaker, he gets tied up by a couple of Eagles. Comes Eden Prairie back the other way. It's Middlestat. Middlestat gets tied up. Vorlicki, Middlestat catches up to that and knocks that puck off of Vorlicki's stick. Jones puts on a big hit on Boltman in the corner. Centering feed, a nice job by Swenson to get down and block that one.
Well, Jones put a hit on the goal scorer, Boltman, on that one, and then things started to kind of get a little physical. Bodies are starting to fly. Conan took a hit from one of the Edina defenders, so the physical part of this game is ramping up. I don't think it really works to Edina's advantage to get into this, but Eden Prairie's just trying to make something happen, make Edina uncomfortable. So I think the physical part enhances Eden Prairie's game, where I think it's actually a detriment to what Edina's trying to accomplish now. But you got to defend yourself out there. A lot of pride in both of these programs.
Puck pops up into the netting. We have another face-off. You see, have to determine whose stick it went off of.
Well, going to be off the Edina stick, and it's going to be Jensen against Walker in the face-off dot.
And the Eagles win the face-off, but that shot by Pager is blocked and drifts all the way back down into the Edina offensive zone. Well, he moves on to the near side.
Oh!
A penalty coming.
That might be a big one, too. And I don't think it was anything malicious, but it was Brinkman that actually put a shoulder into Jensen, got him up into the head area. So I think they might call it interference. If they do, they're being very kind and generous and relatively fair to him, too. I don't think it was anything malicious. But Eden Prairie, if they're ever going to get an opportunity to make something happen, it's got to happen now. One of the big primary defenders is for Edina in the box. Great opportunity for Eden Prairie to cut this lead down to 2 and make some noise. Got it starts in the faceoff circle, though.
Well, that face-off coming deep in the Edina zone as they'll go on the power play. 0 for 1 on the power play. They do have 2 shorthanded goals.
Kind of funny how that works, isn't it? And Eden Prairie's penalty kill has been a challenge all year, and they got 2 shorties, but now it's time to get their power play going in the right direction.
As Eden Prairie wins the face-off, but the puck was out of the reach of Langfells on the setup, so Eden Prairie having to reset deep in their zone. Bring it through the neutral zone. Middlestat pulling up. Langfells back to Middlestat. Middlestat toward the net, off the crossbar.
Wow.
Well, there you go, Bart. The opportunity was there. Unfortunately, it found the crossbar, and we play on.
It's still a positive, Patrick. They got the puck to the net, beat the goaltender.
Middlestat back up to Langfells. Running for the blast, and that goes high over the net.
Irwin
Jensen, tried to push it back. I think he was looking to redirect it off of Mackay, who was down. It's Middlestat. Middlestat into the zone. It's loose. They score. No, they'll wave it off. And Middlestat obviously frustrated at that.
Well, and it was Jensen as well. Middlestat, and I'm sure everybody in red on the ice is a little frustrated about that. But once again, north side net in the main arena, off the moorings in a pressure situation. You see that far too often. Very masterful by Mackay to actually knock that off, but that should have been counted a goal in my eyes as continuation. But again, the referee is be-all, end-all. Lee Smith wants a little qualification. I think he deserves that, and I really appreciate it when the referees take the necessary time. Yes, it slows the game down, but it shows the respect to the coach that needs qualification on that, helps keep the game under control. And I don't think Lee Smith is going to be happy with what the referee says, but at least he's showing them respect to give him that explanation. But if you're Eden Prairie, yes, you may wanted that to score, but there's a couple positives they can draw from this. Get back to work and keep putting pressure on Mackay in the net.
When something like that happens, how do you keep that emotion from getting to you as Pikowski?
Right here.
Lesko, that blast is, rather that's Jensen, my apologies. That one knocked down. Jensen circling Middlestat. It's still loose. Pikowski able to get it back out to Langfells. 48 seconds remaining in the power play. Jensen with it in the near circle. Langfells with a shot into traffic that's knocked down, and he's unable to hold it in. A good clear attempt by the Edina defenders.
Well, lesson for you youngsters. Boltman got in front of that shot. If you're going to block your goaltender sightline, you have to pay particular attention to stop that shot, which is what he did clear. Nice job by the Edina defender.
Edina playing it now in their zone. Walker throws it out to neutral ice. Langfells possessing it there. There's Irwin. Get it back to Langfells.
10 seconds on the power play.
Kowski into the zone as Middlestat's shot is blocked, and it'll go all the way back down, and that'll do it for the power play.
Boy, I think that was another block by either Boltman or Reiners, but boy, they did a great job of supporting their goaltender and limited Eden Prairie's attack. 4:12 left. Time is going very, very quickly for Eden Prairie, not going fast enough for the Edina Hornets.
Jensen into the offensive zone. He'll spin and have that one taken away by Komatzi. Komatzi into the offensive zone with help. That one thrown toward the net. Blocked. And here come the Eagles as that one sort of pushed lazily away by Jensen. Here's Crosby into the zone. He goes down to the ice. Work its way back around. Komatzi. Back down to Vorlicki. Throws that one on goal. Stopped and held on to.
Well, you see Komatzi, I mean, he's one goal away from a hat trick. Got a pretty good look, but he gave the puck up to his defenseman, Vorlicki, for the shot. And that kind of a microcosm of how Edina plays. You know, a lot of players would go for the hat trick, a lot of line mates would try to feed him the puck, but he gave the puck up in a pretty good scoring opportunity. But that's just the unselfish nature of Komatzi, and that's why when he leads, people follow.
Banked all the way down. This will go down for an icing. We'll have a face-off back deep in the Eden Prairie zone with 3:27 remaining.
Well, obviously we have plenty of time left, but if you're Lee Smith, you look at the body of work that your team exhibited tonight, you have to feel proud regardless of the outcome. They battled. That's what you want to do, is you want to battle through. You want to show your verve, so to speak, and I think they've really answered a lot of questions tonight and given themselves some confidence regardless of how this game ends up. They skated with the Hornets for a good period of time. Just a couple couple little, potholes, so to speak, on their road to success, but I think they learned something from it. They're going to be a better team after this game than they were coming into it. Let's not get carried away, guys.
Edina will make the trip to the Eden Prairie Community Center on February 15th. That would be a fun one.
It's going to be a spirited affair, I'll say that, but Colby in the box for Edina, and it looks like it's going to be Crosby in the box as well, and it looks like it's going to be either Horton or Jones. It looks like it's going to be Horton for Eden Prairie, so Eden Prairie might come out of this with a power play, counting the numbers in the box, and unless there's some sort of an unusual penalty. You hate to see emotions get too far out of line in the closing moments of a 3-goal game, but these teams are very familiar with each other, and I'm sure that once the final whistle blows, they'll shake hands as sportsmen do, but doesn't mean they can't be emotional until that final buzzer.
Irwin controlling the face-off. Langfells will have to bank it off the boards. It'll be intercepted and taken the other way by Nevers. He'll just dump it down in deep. Nevers fighting with Langfells now behind the net. 3 red jerseys down there. A great job by Nevers, the one Edina player in that pile. He held that pile pretty well for a good few seconds. Jensen into the offensive zone. Will wait for his teammates to set up. Langfells toward the net, deflected off of Mackay up into the netting.
Boy, and I think that actually carried off 2 players, and I think one was Reiners, and I think the other one was Lesko. So, but the final one wrapped it up and out of play, so it's going to be initiated by Edina, so the faceoff's going to be in the Edina zone, it looks like. Great opportunity, 1:28 left on the penalty to Colby. So Eden Prairie's got to win this faceoff, put some pressure on. Still plenty of time.
Edina wins the faceoff, and they get a clear.
Boy, you got to win the draw.
Langfells back to get it for the Eagles. Circle the net, leave it behind for Irwin. 2:28 now remaining in regulation. 3-goal lead for Edina at 5-2. Lesko will pull up, send it cross ice for Irwin, and that one just skips wide. Mackay might have got a piece of that one. Deflected into the net, and that one dribbles wide. Lesko with it, and that one whiffs off the stick of Irwin. He'll have to go get it. Eagles will have to vacate. Lesko back into the offensive zone. Lesko trying to work his way around Reiners. Reiners ties him up.
Boy, he's played a solid game tonight. Reiners has. His defensive game is notable.
Lesko still trying to get out of there. Finally, the Eagles do come out of it with the puck, winding up for the blast into traffic. Mackay saw it all the way, and he saves it and holds on.
Well, big clapper from Irwin. We've seen him score some goals from that particular area, but nice concentration by Mackay, and good job by Edina to give him those sight lines. Generally, as we stated before, if these goaltenders can see the puck, they can make that first save. It's a second chance follow-ups that generally can kill you, but very responsible by the Edina goaltender. Just 1:37 left in this game, 26 seconds left in the penalty to Colby.
Jones and Komatsi on the draw. Here's Will Height back in the game. He left with that injury a little while ago. Rudrud now with it coming out of the corner. So back down to Will Height. Will Height, he scores! Will Height gets a power play goal. It'll be his 5th of the season. It's 5-3 with 1:21 left.
Well, obviously they still have an opportunity, but that was a really nice sequence of events as it stands. Got possession down low, pushed the puck out front, and it was Will Height that actually scored that one. That's his 5th goal, and I think 2nd in the last 2 or 3 games, so he's becoming prominent on the score sheet. But that was a nice goal. It just caught the far side of the post and found its way in. So 5-3, now just 2 good shots away, but time obviously of the essence.
Eden Prairie needs to win the face-off, and they need to get Dietrich out of the net. As Edina not able to get it out of their zone. There goes Dietrich, empty net at the Eden Prairie end. Down to Jensen. Lesko work his way in. Jensen on the follow. My goodness.
Boy, what great work by this Eden Prairie squad. It was Lesko got the initial shot, and then on the follow-up opportunity, it was Jensen who sent that glove side, but Mackay closed that door and closed it with in a hurry. So really big save by Mackay on that one. Regardless of the score, that's a confidence builder right there.
Bukowski and Walker in the face-off circle. Eden Prairie controls the face-off. Jensen, there's a blast that goes high over the top of the net by Irwin.
Wow.
Conan, as that one poked away from him. Here come Edina back the other way. Jungle through the neutral zone. will try to get it ahead, and we'll have a penalty coming against Eden Prairie for the trip.
Well, as long as everybody's healthy and happy, I think that was a good play by Irwin. It's just personal pride that came into that. But it was Jungles who tried to feed the puck to Walker. Walker scored the opening goal of this period, but been pretty quiet since, but trying to feed it to him. But Irwin, nice stretch play to thwart that effort. Yes, he took a penalty, but it kept the automatic goal off the score sheet. So I think his teammates appreciated that effort. Now it's up to them to pick him up and kill this penalty off. 45 seconds left in regulation time.
Well, Eden Prairie, they have 2 shorthanded goals. They're going to need a couple more of them, Mark.
Absolutely. A tall order, but boy, they've got 2 already. Maybe they can go for that third one.
Eden Prairie wins the face-off. Pager plays it around the net to Conan. Conan takes a hit. He pushed up ahead. Brinkman. And the Eagles back the other way. Dietrich back to the bench. Empty net for Eden Prairie. Jungles gets tied up. Wilhite Jones tried to get a piece of that one. He couldn't. Eagles can't hold the zone. 22 seconds remaining. Brinkman behind his own net. That one knocked down by Jones. Jungles able to push that one down into the Eden Prairie zone. 11 seconds remaining. And they do score on the empty netter. I think that's going to go to Walker. So an exclamation point added. Walker does get the final goal of the game.
Well, and that's going to be his 24th goal of the game and just his 19th game. So very impressive by the young man. But it looks like the faceoff's coming outside the zone, so I don't know what transpired. Maybe a whistle was blown, but they're not going to count that as a goal. No goal, 6.5 left. We're going to let this one run out.
Edina controls the faceoff, bringing it into the offensive zone. Well, Walker denied twice. I don't think he'll care that much because Edina will come away the victors tonight. Oh, Eden Prairie falls short, but they played a very spirited, very well-planned, very well-executed game, just too strong on the Edina end.
Well, let's just kind of paint a little bit of a picture, and I'm not trying to oversell it, but number 1 Minnetonka came in to face Edina in these friendly confines for Edina. Not an easy place to play. Minnetonka got humbled a little bit with a very focused Edina squad. Now it's Eden Prairie that comes into this very same hostile environment and really kind of took it to the Edina Hornets intermittently. I think overall, in the first 2 periods, play might have been 60-40 advantage Edina, but Eden Prairie was relevant. They were 1 shot away, but then Edina, the cream starts to kind of rise to the top a little bit. They had a lot of skill out there, and I think Komatsi's goal in this period kind of took a little bit of the start shot of Eden Prairie, but it's a character team. They work hard for their coach. They came back and battled. Just came a little bit short tonight, but you have to be impressed with Eden Prairie's effort tonight. But Edina, boy, just taking off another big win at home against a Lake Conference rival that's very familiar with them. I mean, this Edina team just keeps getting more and more impressive. One of the more unselfish teams we talked about. Walker scoring a goal. He doesn't care if he scores as long as they win. But that's the mentality of Kurt Giles' coach team is win as a team, lose as a team. So far they have a lot more wins. But it's exciting moving forward as far as the Lake Conference unfolding from this point forward. There's a lot of hockey to be played, but as you said, early in February, Edina's going to invade the community center, and Eden Prairie's going to get a chance to kind of balance the scales a little bit. But so far, Edina's got the advantage through the holiday tournament and tonight, but Eden Prairie's going to come out like a house of fire next time they play. I'll guarantee you that.
So where does Eden Prairie go from here? They're winless in conference play, lost twice to Edina, lost now each to Minnetonka and Wayzata. So still a good team, but certainly not the situation that they want to be in at this point in the season, being winless in conference.
Well, the thing about the Eden Prairie situation is they graduated a lot of high-end talent last year. Hunter Johannes, obviously Middlestad, Lieberman. So there's a lot of big pieces that the next man up. Andrew Irwin's a very good defenseman, but he's not a Nicky Lieberman. They have a different skill set, but he worked on his game. You can tell that he's a little bit more offensively relevant, but he plays a solid defensive game. I love the fight on the defense of this Eden Prairie team, but it all comes down, Patrick, really to just be playing your best hockey when the sections are starting. I mean, once it's a one-game situation, Eden Prairie's capable of beating any team as they beat Duluth East which was a #1 rated team at that time. So they can beat anybody. They just have to play a very sound game, but they're working their way toward it. It seems like they're gathering momentum. The Achilles heel was their power play wasn't working very well. Their shorthanded was giving up goals. Well, we saw that trend kind of change. Now, they didn't get any power play goals, but they had power play time. But 2 shorthanded goals, I mean, that's a pretty big feather in their cap moving forward. So there's a lot of confidence that they can bring out of this, but where they go from here is up to the players. The coach can only do so much, but they have a pretty good coach that's been down this road before, and I'm sure he's going to get his team ready. But Edina, very impressive. They continue to show their offensive wherewithal, but I think people undersell their defensive abilities, and I thought Mackay played a very sound game tonight when he had to as well. So all the checks in the right boxes for this Hornet team.
Who would you pick tonight for your Shirts Unlimited player of the game?
Well, I would venture to say that there's a lot of players that actually could be representative of their team, but I am going to go with Kamatsis. He's got 2 goals. I thought Walker was solid. I thought Crosby with a 3-pointer tonight. There's a lot of people that played an outstanding game, but we're going to give it to Kamatsis as a representative of the Edina Hornets as our Shirts Unlimited player of the game tonight.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Green Mill, Walzer Toyota, and Tavern on 4 and 5. Thank you for tuning in tonight on stateofhockey.com. For Bart Archer and the rest of our crew, Will Vanderbilt and Joe Hentges, I'm Patrick Lilja. We'll talk to you next time from an arena near you. Walker chasing it down into the offensive zone for Edina as it works its way around in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Eagles will bring it out to neutral ice and then intercepted and brought back in by Jet Jungles. Jungles tied up on the near side. Now back out at center ice. Or Trevor Cruiser sends that one back in toward the near side boards. Now comes Mason Nevers in with it. Centering feed for Walker, and that one sent up into the corner. Bart, you and I were talking off air before the game that we thought Eden Prairie needed to weather about the first 5 minutes to really feel good about where they're at, and even though they do trail 1-0, I think you think they still feel pretty good about where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. They're skating with Edina. Edina did get their opportunities, but my thought was the first 5 minutes is their first challenge, the next 5 minutes is their next challenge, and then the final 7 minutes, they're just going to have to start winning each and every shift, or at least competing, keep the puck out of the zone, but they have to possess the puck and keep it off those Edina sticks. As you can see, Edina is very good about working the puck in the offensive zone and really make you start to chase the play. That's something they've got to kind of stay away from. But if they can possess the puck, it makes their job a lot easier.
Spikowski sends that one in on goal, covered and held by Mackay. Face off deep in the Edina zone with 10:50 to go in the first period.
Well, Spikowski, number 12 in the red, he's one of these players that you might not hear about a whole bunch, but he does so many little things to help his team get a chance to win. He's a gritty player that knows how to play the game, and coach has a lot of confidence to put him out in each and every situation, and he hasn't let him down.
As you say that, he wins that key face-off, and Jensen with a shot on goal. Having covered quite a few Eden Prairie games lately, certainly see Pikowski. He doesn't show up a lot on the score sheet. He did get a goal Thursday night in that win over Stillwater, but he's that guy who's always driving, always fighting hard, always looking to make something happen. And there he gets another shot on goal, steered aside by Mackay.
He's just tough to play against, and that's what you want as a coach.
Yes, Jensen tries to center it. Did center it out front into traffic, and Mackay somehow able to hold on to that point-blank shot.
Well, it was Jensen that did a little redirect out to Lesko, and Lesko from the right hash got a really good shot on goal, and I think that was more of a position save by Mackay. He made the initial save, didn't know where the rebound was, but he tucked that in with care. But a nice job by the Edina goaltender to really thwart a pretty good effort by Eden Prairie.
Shoemaker wins the face-off for Edina. Here they come through the neutral zone with Max Borst. And the puck loose out front, and Eden Prairie eventually comes out with it, but will have a stoppage of play.
Well, you can see how dangerous Edina is. Just an innocent dump in. Dietrich moved the puck to the side, but then Edina has the speed to win those battles, so you have to be cognizant of getting in the way and interrupting their stride. Otherwise, those follow-up opportunities can kill you. But they weathered that storm. 10:09 left in the first period. I still think Eden Prairie's done a pretty good job of keeping things on the outside.
circle. Now poked out along the near side board. It'll be now played behind the net. It'll be held in there. Good job by the Hornets as Walker with it. Walker will get it back up. Now Brinkman with it. Brinkman whiffed on it briefly. Now able to send it down into the corner. Tied up behind the net. It's kind of loose out front, but now here come the Eagles the other way into the neutral zone. Yes, Conan gets tied up, but he'll be able to poke it down. Mackay behind his own net. That one deflecting just wide of the cage as Conan tried to center it to Jones. And Edina back the other way. The shot high into Dietrich. He'll hold on to it with the glove with 4:43 to go here in the first period.
Well, I think anything that Dietrich can get his hands on, he's going to try to cover. I think that was kind of what we expected from this Edina Hornet team. We're very early. We're under a minute into this third period. Eden Prairie just got to kind of hang on a little bit. They look a little vulnerable coming out, but that's because of the Edina pushback, not anything that Eden Prairie's done.
Eden Prairie eventually controls the face-off, but it was all the way behind their own net. Puck is loose out front, and it eventually swept down onto the near side boards. Brinkman sending it up top for Crosby. Crosby will look to drive. He'll look to center it. And it comes out. It's loose in the corner on the near side now.
That's a big save by Dietrich. Blocker into the corner. Well done.
Bykowski putting on a big hit for Eden Prairie. Play continuing in the near side corner. Eventually chipped out, but held in. Looking to center it, and that one just goes wide.
Oh.
And back down to Brinkman. Brinkman. Not sure if he was trying to pass that one or shoot it, but it ended up taking a very weird angle, and it'll bounce all the way down into the Edina zone, but it'll be an icing call.
Yeah, that did take a funny turn, but Lesko showing his physical presence in his own zone really kind of put everybody's head on a swivel. Eden Prairie chasing the play just a little bit, but not getting into the areas. But Dietrich made a really good save, and that was after he lost the stick, tried to find a stick, and a lot of times goaltenders can lose their focus. He went right back into position and then waffled one into the corner, so got right back on his game. Nice job by the Eden Prairie goaltender.
Face-off controlled by Boltman, and that one goes wide as he tried to get it into the center of the ice. Brings its way around.
Wilhite's hurt.
Wilhite having to get off the ice. He took that. That's a upper body injury for Licky. Conan, nice work there with the stick, and he ends up taking it away. Conan into the offensive zone. Play it behind the Edina net. Grain is hit there. Now Rudrud joins the fray down there as well. Argetsinger trying to send it back into the Edina zone, but he can't. Hornets bring it back up into the offensive zone. Argetsinger there tied up with Shoemaker. Play moves into the near side corner.
Argetsinger lost the stick.
That's Verlicki trying to wind up for a drive. That goes off the leg of Rudrud. Puck is still loose. Out to Brinkman. Brinkman threw that one toward the net. That one went off of somebody. Conan plays it around the net. Still got, there was one stick on the ice and then looked like somebody kind of dropped their stick trying to reverse direction too. And so that one ends up.
There's sticks everywhere.
Bounces in on Dietrich, who easily kicks it aside. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Here comes Jensen into the offensive zone, but he loses the puck as he tried to pull up. Well, my apologies. That one knocked down. Jensen circling Middlestat. It's still loose. Lykowski able to get it back out to Langfels. 48 seconds remaining in the power play. Jensen with it in the near circle. Langfels with a shot into traffic that's knocked down, and he's unable to hold it in. A good clear attempt by the Edina defenders.
Well, lesson for you youngsters. Boltman got in front of that shot. If you're going to block your goaltender sightline, you have to pay particular attention to stop that shot, which is what he did clear. Nice job by the Edina defender.
Edina playing it now in their zone. Walker throws it out to neutral ice. Langfels possessing it there. As Irwin get it back to Langfels.
10 seconds on the power play.
Lykowski into the zone as Middlestat's shot is blocked, and it'll go all the way back down, and that'll do it for the power play.
Boy, I think that was another block play. Either Boltman or Reiners, but boy, they did a great job of supporting their goaltender and limited Eden Prairie's attack. 4:12 left. Time is going very, very quickly for Eden Prairie, not going fast enough for the Edina Hornets.
Jensen into the offensive zone. He'll spin and have that one taken away by Komatzi. Komatzi into the offensive zone with help. That one thrown toward the net. Blocked. Here come the Eagles. That one sort of pushed lazily away by Jensen. Here's Crosby into the zone. He goes down to the ice. Work its way back around. Komatzi. Back down to Verlicki. Throws that one on goal. Stopped and held on to.
Well, you see Komatzi, I mean, he's one goal away from a hat trick. Got a pretty good look, but he gave the puck up to his defenseman, Verlicki, for the shot. And that kind of is a microcosm of how Edina plays. You know, a lot of players that go for the hat trick, a lot of line mates that try to feed him the puck, but he gave the puck up in a pretty good scoring opportunity. But that's just the unselfish nature of Komatzi, and that's why when he leads, people follow.
Banked all the way down. This will go down for an icing. We'll have a face-off back deep in the Eden Prairie zone with 3:27 remaining.
Well, obviously we have plenty of time left, but if you're Lee Smith, you look at the body of work that your team exhibited tonight, you have to feel proud regardless of the outcome. They battled. That's what you want to do, is you want to battle through. You want to show your verve, so to speak, and I think they've really answered a lot of questions tonight and given themselves some confidence regardless of how this game ends up. They skated with the Hornets for a good period of time. Just a couple little potholes, so to speak, on their road to success, but I think they learned something from it. They're going to be a better team after this game than they were coming into it. Let's not get carried away, guys.
Edina will make the trip to the Eden Prairie Community Center on February 15th. That would be a fun one.
A bad time to reset. There's still plenty of time left.
Boltman getting his second of the year. Certainly, as they were saying, Bart, the wheels were starting to wobble a little bit for the Eagles. They played hard all night, but when you're up against this juggernaut Edina team, eventually the Hornets will start to wear you down a bit, and it looked like that might start to be the case tonight, as a couple of quick goals for the Hornets here in the third.
And that's what the Hornets can do. You can't play against the jersey. You play against the individual that's wearing the jersey. And Edina's just got so much depth on this team with so much speed up front that it's very difficult for Lee Smith to get his primary matchups out there, not having the last change. I think he's done a masterful job of getting the right personnel out there at the right times, but Edina just if it's not the Crosby line, it's going to come back with a different line or a different line beyond that. So Edina's just got a wealth of riches, and they're not afraid to flex their offensive muscles, and that's what they're in the process of doing right now. Up to Eden Prairie to respond. Good timeout by Lee Smith. Just get the kids refocused again. Still plenty of time. Just under 11 minutes to go. 3 good shots away, but getting that first one is going to be the big challenge. They have to get on that task right now.
So an uphill battle continuing as we're now under 11 minutes to play. And the Eagles push it down into the offensive zone. Trying to pick it up is Reiners. Reiners will play it back around. Swanson up the near side, but he has that one poked back in. Laying it behind their net, Brinkman. Brinkman will push it up ahead to Borst. Borst met by a couple of red jerseys, but the puck continues to drift down into the Eden Prairie zone. Eagles now able to poke it back out. Shoemaker for Edina. Shoemaker trying to drive toward the net. Get it back up to the far side boards. Bank it back out. Lining up for a blast was Reiners. The Eagles back the other direction. Pakowski fighting his way through a couple of sticks of both Brinkman and Reiners. And now Edina back into the offensive zone. As Brinkman gets tied up. And able to be held in by the Hornets at the blue line. Borst up there up high to hold that one in as it just kind of wobbled toward him. Play continuing behind the Eden Prairie net. Pakowski will send it back around the near side. Come the Eagles back the other direction. Throw that one in deep. Guy will poke at it with the stick as Boltman up ice. Long pass that's out of the reach of Walker. Icing waved off. Middlestat trying to get it up ahead before he takes a hit. Conan.
Well, that's where possession comes in. You have to win the dot face-off in your own zone. Got it back to Brinkman. Good shot. Kamatsis ramped it up and out of play. Low ceilings here, but went off an Eden Prairie stick, so face-off in the Eden Prairie zone.
Brinkman whiffs on the pass, and Eden Prairie will be able to get it out to neutral ice. That one skips out ahead of Lesko. Edina back into the offensive zone as that one goes off the skate and then just out of reach of Crosby on the loose puck. That one thrown toward the net and Dietrich falling down. I don't know if he got a piece of that one or not, but it ended up high off the end wall.
Well, that was an unnatural reaction to that shot, so his feet might have got taken out in all the confusion, but the puck stayed out of the net. That's Eden Prairie's primary goal.
Komatzis throws it down low. Back to Komatzis. He scores!
Wow.
Demetrios Komatzis has their 14th goal of the year. It's 2-0 Edina.
Yeah, and Komatzis is one of these players where you kind of take it for granted a little bit. He's got a whole bunch of skill involved. You kind of take it for granted, but that was a good shot. I think it went between the arm and the actual chest protector of Dietrich on that one, but nice feed by Crosby from behind the goal. Playing behind the defenseman is something that Edina can do. Got it out to Komatzis, and he put that home. 2-0 lead Edina. And we're just about 3 minutes into this second period, so Edina again strikes early, up to Eden Prairie to respond. They're down by 2 now. They have to kind of limit this momentum that Edina's gathered at the beginning of the second period.
Officially 2:59 will be that time of goal. Using my California math skills there. Play moves down deep into the Eden Prairie zone, offensive zone rather, now with a fight developing in the corner. Wilhite tied up. Now Rudru trying to come out with it. It's centered. Pajkowski tried to redirect. Rather, that was Grain. My apologies. It's held on to by Mackay.
Well, again, you don't have to come back and score, but you have to come back with possession, put pressure on, and that's exactly what they did. And Grain is one of those players that really is got a little grit to him. He's got a little speed to him, but he makes things happen. He really makes people make plays, and he didn't let us down on that one. But pretty good pushback from Eden Prairie. Good response after that goal.
Eden Prairie wins the face-off, but then losing it off of his stick was Jungles, and now play moves down into the neutral zone. Here comes Edina into the offensive zone with some speed. There's a shot on Dietrich. He'll hold on to it with the glove.
Well, Borst was coming up the left wing side. He likes to go to the net, but pretty good defensive play. I believe it was Krebsbach who challenged him for Eden Prairie, but he also had Shoemaker in the middle looking for that pass, but he had to take the shot. Dietrich did the the right responsible thing by holding on to that for a faceoff.
Jones wins the faceoff against Shoemaker. Puck banks off the back of the net, moves into the near side corner. As Jones trying to get. No, the second period starting out quite a bit like the first period. Edina got that fairly quick goal in the first period. It's working its way in, but then being knocked off, trying to work its way into the middle. Here's Pikowski. Pikowski with a shot that's deflected up into the netting.
Well, busy stick by Brinkman on that one, but good speed through the neutral zone by Pikowski. That's what Eden Prairie's going to have to do, but a nice challenge by Brinkman at the line. You have to use that blue line as a natural line of defense, but when Kona gets going, he's got some speed, he's got some size, plus he has some skill, but nice defensive pushback by the Edina defender.
Pikowski eventually wins the face-off. That one, Langfell's lined up for the shot.
Pikowski's about the only one to have success in the dot for the Eden Prairie squad. He's going to take a lot of big faceoffs from this point forward if he keeps with that success.
Brinkman bringing it around the Edina net. He takes a big hit there from Lesko. Jensen able to get the puck for the Eagles there. It floats its way down back into the corner. Oh, it's a big hit put on there. That was Jensen who put the hit on Komatzis.
Emotions are getting a little up, so is the intensity.
Really, Edina quickly back into the offensive zone. A couple of hits there. Langfells and Irwin putting on those hits there, but it trickles back out. And there's a shot that deflects off the body of Crosby. Edina banking it off the near side boards. Back up for Licky, whose shot goes off a skate. Lining up for Komatzis, and he takes a blast that's steered aside with the pad by Dietrich.
Good save by Dietrich, directed it into the corner.
Crosby tied up behind the net by Langfells. Lesko down there as well. Komatzis comes out with it. Komatzis, he hits the side of the net. What an effort there by Komatzis.
He's very elusive. But I think it really started, Patrick, from Crosby and his work down low. Crosby's just one of those players. We talk about the Walkers and the Komatzis, but Crosby can hold a candle to those guys, but he's one of the great reasons why this Edina team has had this early success so far this season.
Jensen will send it back in behind the Edina net, now into the near side corner. Edina trying to get it toward the blue line. Poke it into the neutral zone where Pager has it for Eden Prairie. Be deflected down, Grain chasing after it for the Eagles. Forlicki will get to it first for Edina. And Komatzi sends it toward the blue line, held in by the Eagles.
There's that confidence from Pager holding that blue line, and look what ensues. They keep the puck in the zone, keep Edina at bay. Nice job by the Eden Prairie defenseman.
Edina possessing it in the far side corner. Komatzi banks it off the far side boards. It drifts its way down into the Eden Prairie zone, and Dietrich has to cover it in front of a non-charging Mason Nevers.
Yeah, and Nevers took a little shot at Dietrich, and I think Pager took exception of that. Nice step up by Argetsinger at the blue.
And that shot goes wide.
Well, sometimes Brinkman gets a little bit aggressive and puts his team in some vulnerable moments, but his skill set is certainly a benefit.
Gorlicki driving in, and that one tipped wide by Dietrich.
That's a big save.
Jungles with a shot that goes off the glove of Dietrich. So Edina ramping up the pressure.
Indeed they are.
Was Rudrud able to bank it off the boards down back into the Edina zone. Brinkman there, chased by Jensen. Brinkman will throw it off the near side boards. Here comes Edina back into the zone with Komatzi. He's just out of reach on the centering feed. Trying to get that one to Colby. They continuing behind the net. And poked back up toward Boltman. He'll play it around the net. Pager with it. Pager will send it to the near side. Lesko has it now for the Eagles. He'll throw that one into the neutral zone. Hit put on by Wilhite at the blue line. Komadzi's trying to turn it up nice, but he gets knocked off the puck. Good work there by Pikowski. Let's it back down into the Edina zone. 5:20 now remaining in the period. Crosby along the far side boards. So thrown toward Dietrich, and it kind of comes in on him like a baseball line drive. It's Horton almost knocked off the puck in his own zone. Able to be held in by Edina at the blue line. That one thrown toward Dietrich, and he'll deflect it up into the netting with a stick. Well,
Horton, a pretty good shift. First time I think we've called his name tonight, but he's one of those defensemen that Lee Smith can go to when needed. But he made a nice play, kind of rang the puck around the boards, and that's something that you can't do against Edina. They don't bail on the line, so that little sequence was because they couldn't do the clear. You have to be a little more responsible. Sometimes it's almost better to eat the puck than to just give it away, but they lived to tell the tale. Just under 5 minutes to go in the second period. Eden Prairie only down by 1 now. Edina's pushing though hard.
Rudrud wins the face-off against Shoemaker. Middlestat sends that one up to Rudrud. Rudrud working his way through center ice will dump that one down into the corner. Conan chasing it for the Eagles. Now it's out front, and Mackay will have to glove it.
Well, Conan did a nice thing by putting some pressure on Reimers back there, and almost got a better look, but they turned and fired shallow angle shot. Mackay gathered that one up, but again, a nice sequence by Eden Prairie. They went down, got the puck, won the battle, and got a shot on goal. If they can keep doing that, it makes Edina come the full 200 feet, and that's a pretty good situation for Eden Prairie.
Orlicki sends it out into the neutral zone. Eagles playing it in front of their bench. They'll poke it into their offensive zone. Still out in front of the bench areas on the far side boards. Now Edina able to bring it down into their offensive zone. Argetsinger will take a hit behind the net. I think actually Shoemaker got the worst of that one.
Could have been it.
What's going on?
We just rebooted the system. We didn't have sound for a little while.
Welcome back, everybody, to Braemar Arena as we get set to start the second period. Edina with a 1-0 lead, the 23rd goal of the year for Sam Walker, but very impressive play from Eden Prairie in that first period, Bart.
Yeah, in fact, shots on goal favored Eden Prairie 11-9, and a lot of those were pretty good quality shots where Mackay had to come out and make the save. The official scoring was Walker's 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki at the 3:26 mark, but that's where we stand right now. But I really liked what I saw from Eden Prairie. Now they're going to have to turn it up a notch and play just a little bit better. They have the long line change. Very important to get off early. Hard to defend against Edina with tired legs, but again, play responsible, stay out of the box, but just keep putting pressure on Edina and make them come the full 200 feet. Very impressed with the way Eden Prairie played that first period.
Face off at center ice, controlled by Edina. They'll be coming to the near side for the second period as Dietrich sort of mishandles that puck behind the net. And Edina able to poke it out, but here comes Carson Jones with it. Middlestat into the neutral zone. He's tied up by 3 green jerseys there, though. Here's Irwin bringing it through neutral ice. He'll throw that one in on Mackay. It was an impressive shot from the blue line. That thing just kind of whizzed in there on the Edina goaltender, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Yeah, and Mackay made that save, and it made it look easy, but you can see Middlestat trying to come out of the zone, and he was surrounded by all white jerseys, and that's the challenges the teams face when they play against Edina. They're a very responsible defensive team, not a lot of room to move, so you have to know what you're going to do, get rid of the puck as quick as you can, but keep moving it forward.
Bykowski tied up by Brinkman as he played it around the Edina net. Puck loose along the far side boards. Edina now coming through center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's Cole Cavanaugh. He'll throw that one into the far side corner. Play it around to Walker. Walker will bank it off the near side boards. As Lesko couldn't quite poke that one into the zone, but now they have the stoppage of play.
Well, it was a hand pass that originated from the defensive zone, but we're going to bring it all the way back. But I think it was actually Mason Nevers is on this line, and he really brings the dynamic, make the save. The official scoring was Walker's 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki at the 3:26 mark, but that's where we stand right now. But I really liked what I saw from Eden Prairie. Now they're going to have to turn it up a notch and play just a little bit better. They have the long line change. Very important to get off early. Hard to defend against Edina with tired legs, but again, play responsible, stay out of the box, but just keep putting pressure on Edina and make them come the full 200 feet. Very impressed with the way Eden Prairie played that first period.
Face off at center ice, controlled by Edina. They'll be coming to the near side for the second period as Dietrich sort of mishandles that puck behind the net. And Edina able to poke it out, but here comes Carson Jones with it. Middlestat into the neutral zone. He's tied up by 3 green jerseys there, though. Here's Irwin bringing it through neutral ice. He'll throw that one in on Mackay. It was an impressive shot from the blue line. That thing just kind of whizzed in there on the Edina goaltender, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Yeah, Mackay made that save, and it made it look easy, but you can see Middlestead trying to come out of the zone, and he was surrounded by all white jerseys, and that's the challenges the teams face when they play against Edina. They're a very responsible defensive team, not a lot of room to move, so you have to know what you're going to do, get rid of the puck as quick as you can, but keep moving it forward.
Bykowski tied up by Brinkman as he played it around the Edina net. Puck loose along the far side boards. Edina now coming through center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's Cole Cavanaugh. He'll throw that one into the far side corner. Play it around to Walker. Walker will bank it off the near side boards. As Lesko couldn't quite poke that one into the zone, but now they have the stoppage of play.
Well, it was a hand pass that originated from the defensive zone, but we're going to bring it all the way back. But I think it was actually Mason Nevers is on this line, and he really brings the dynamic. This is a young man that can actually, we've seen his development from being a youngster. Now he plays a very mature game right now, but he's got some solid hands, some great ability. So number 18 in the white, player to keep an eye on.
Walker to take the face-off against Carson Jones. Now a discussion with the Edina bench. Kurt Giles getting an explanation of some kind. Now Edina comes out with the face-off. It's Mason Nevers, and he throws that one toward the middle, lining up for a blast into traffic that goes off of Middlested's skate. Come into the near side corner, or far side corner rather, excuse me. Here's Middlested. Middlested working his way around a couple of Edina defenders. And Edina back the other way. Middlestat as he worked his way through the zone. Langfels loses control of that one. It banks off the near side boards. It'll float its way down into the Edina zone. Hornets bringing it up into neutral ice, into the offensive zone. Centering feed for Walker. Walker able to get a nice shot out of nothing. Rebound deflection. Icing waved off. Middlestat trying to get it up ahead before he takes a hit. Conan harassed by Boltman. Licky with it now in front of his net. Bank it off for Jungles. Jungles up the near side. Jungles throws it toward the net, but it slides all the way to the far side boards. It wobbles in as Edina tried to push it back toward the net. It's Middlestat into the offensive zone. Middlestat trying to get it for Conan, but he's tied up there by a couple of white jerseys. It's Carson Jones in the corner with it as he works his way away from Walker. Jungles takes it away, though. Here he comes. That one go off of Argetsinger. Argetsinger able to take it away and bring it back into the offensive zone for the Eagles. His shot is blocked by Crosby. It's Berlicki behind the net once again.
Well, it was a nice job by Argetsinger to get it deep and get those fresh legs out there. So nice job by the defenseman playing aggressive in the offensive zone.
Yes, Lesko ties up Berlicki behind the net. Eden Prairie starting to put on some more pressure as we're about to hit the 8-minute remaining mark of the final period. Jungles will bank it off the board. It'll go into the neutral zone. Crosby just missed on the centering feed. And the Eagles back the other direction. It's Jensen into the zone. Jensen tied up at the last moment by Brinkman. Nice job by Brinkman to catch up to the streaking star Eden Prairie forward.
Well, Jensen's trying to make stuff happen. He just didn't have any support, so he had to take that shot.
As this shot poked by Conan is poked back out on the neutral zone. Here's Komatzis. Komatzis with a shot. It's saved by Dietrich. Puck still loose in the corner.
Dietrich lost the stick again.
Dietrich playing without a stick. Well, that one goes off the end wall.
Komatzis going for the Hattie. He's getting some looks.
The play is stopped, and Dietrich can grab his stick. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Patrick, I was just going to support your point. You know, you brought up about how the clock's the enemy for Eden Prairie. It's not tough enough to try to defend against Edina, but all of a sudden that clock starts moving a little quicker. 7:11 left in regulation time in this third period, down by 3. If they're going to make something happen, they got to make some noise very, very quickly. But the most important thing is win the final 7 minutes of this period. And so if you do lose this game, you still have some positives to draw from this.
Verlicki's drive goes wide. It drifts its way up into the corner. Shoemaker, he gets tied up by a couple of Eagles. Comes Eden Prairie back the other way. It's Middlestadt. Middlestadt gets tied up. Verlicki. Middlestadt catches up to that and knocks that puck off of Verlicki's stick. Jones puts on a big hit on Boltman in the corner. Centering feed, a nice job by Swenson.
The Tire couldn't get his feet under him, and it was Irwin that had to take that penalty. It was Crosby coming in virtually all alone, but just the interruption from Irwin really kept them from getting a good quality shot. So I guess if it's ever going to be a good penalty, that's going to be a good penalty to take. We're going to be 4-on-4 for 137 and 146 left in the period, barring another penalty. So a lot of space out there, a lot of speed out there for Hornets. Answers Jack Jensen and Spencer Rudrud. So Eden Prairie's got some speed as well. This should be fun.
Rudrud wins the face-off against Komatzis. Pass bleeds through all the way to the far side boards. Rudrud able to hold it in on the far side. Edina plays it around their net. Bring it up through center ice. Argetsinger there to intercept it. He'll send that one back down in deep. Reiner's playing it. They'll look to send that one toward the neutral zone, but they'll have to get out of their own zone first. They'll bank it off the far side boards. Still in the Eden Prairie zone, and Jensen trying to make a play on it. What an effort by Jensen down there as it's poked into the corner. And just out front of Jensen, that could have been a disastrous sequence there for Edina. That one thrown toward the net. That one will roll its way around back into the neutral zone.
Boy, you got to get those on goal.
Jensen fighting his way through a couple of stick checks. We'll look to center it for Rudrud. That'll work its way into the far side corner. Well, from here, everything's the far side, Bart.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little challenging.
Eden Prairie in the zone with Komatzis. He gets it up for Crosby. Back to Komatzis. Komatzis, what a play! Oh, just off the crossbar. Just missed there.
Boy, they're not done yet.
Crosby setting up. They score! And we'll have a little bit of extracurricular after that one.
Well, and I think it might have actually deflected off an Eden Prairie defenseman and into the net. Kind of an unfortunate situation for Eden Prairie. And penalties don't come out because they're 4-on-4. But boy, Edina, in the waning moments of the second period, really put a bit of a dagger into Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie had some good possession 4-on-4. One of the few teams, I think, speed-wise, that can keep up with Edina 4-on-4. Jensen did that, but Edina doesn't need much of an opportunity to make it cash in. But they got very fortunate on that one. I think it went off the Eden Prairie defender. And then Komatzis took a little exception to Argetsinger that gave him a little shot after that. A little frustration, but again, they were down before. Here we go.
I believe the goal will be credited to Crosby. That'll be his 11th of the season. Thrown toward the net. They score! Eden Prairie answers with 2.6 remaining in the period.
Well, judging from the energy, I think it's Carson Jones that scored.
Rudrud with it in the corner for Eden Prairie, looking to reverse direction, and he puts a shot on goal, held onto by Mackay.
Wow, it's nice to see number 7 in the red out there. He was missing during that Wayzata game, and he was noticeably absent. He brings a nice dynamic. He brings experience to this team. He brings veteran leadership, but he has offensive skill. He can make things happen. But Eden Prairie, a really nice sequence down in this Edina Hornet zone, really has Edina somewhat on the ropes. They just have to keep going, and keep getting through it and winning the shifts.
Now that one bleeds through. Here's a shot. Mackay able to drop down and prevent that one from getting by him, and that one sent wide. I think we've talked a lot about some of these players, such as Rudrud and Pikowski. They don't show up on the stat sheet a lot, but they'll make a big impact every time they're out there.
Well, they have a bit of a lunch pail group.
If that one just...
Boy. That's Sammy Walker. He's on the Autobahn because there's no speed limit in his world. He's so difficult to contain because he's so shifty. He's got a great north-south game, but he can also go east-west. His feet are very active, and his hands are lightning quick. So, boy, I'm sure the defenders' eyes get big when they see him with a head of steam coming forward, but they weathered that threat face-off now to Dietrich's right.
Face-off still loose in the circle. Now poked out along the near side board. It'll be now played behind the net. Be held in there. Good job by the Hornets as Walker with it. Walker will get it back up. Now Brinkman with it. Brinkman whiffed on it briefly. Now able to send it down into the corner. Tied up behind the net. It's kind of loose out front, but now here come the Eagles the other way into the neutral zone. As Coney gets tied tied up, but he'll be able to poke it down. Mackay behind his own net. That one deflecting just wide of the cage as Conan tried to center it to Jones. And Edina back the other way. The shot high into Dietrich. He'll hold on to it with the glove with 4:43 to go here in the first period.
Well, I think anything that Dietrich can get his hands on, he's going to try to cover.
Eventually the Hornets will start to wear you down a bit, and it looks like that might start to be the case tonight as a couple of quick goals for the Hornets here in the third.
And that's what the Hornets can do. You can't play against the jersey. You play against the individual that's wearing the jersey. And Edina's just got so much depth on this team with so much speed up front that it's very difficult for Lee Smith to get his primary matchups out there, not having the last change. I think he's done a masterful job of getting the right personnel out there at the right times. But Edina just, if it's not the Crosby line, it's going to come back with a different line or a different line beyond that. So Edina's just got a wealth of riches, and they're not afraid to flex their offensive muscles, and that's what they're in the process of doing right now. Up to Eden Prairie to respond. Good timeout by Lee Smith. Just get the kids refocused again. Still plenty of time. Just under 11 minutes to go. 3 good shots away, but getting that first one is going to be the big challenge. They have to get on that task right now.
So an uphill battle continuing as we're now under 11 minutes to play. And the Eagles push it down into the offensive zone. Trying to pick it up is Reiners. Reiners will play it back around. Swanson up the near side, but he has that one poked back in. Playing it behind their net, Brinkman. Brinkman will push it up ahead to Borst. Borst met by a couple of red jerseys, but the puck continues to drift down into the Eden Prairie zone. Eagles now able to poke it back out. There's Shoemaker for Edina. Shoemaker trying to drive toward the net. Get it back up to the far side boards. Bank it back out. Lining up for a blast was Reiners. The Eagles back the other direction. Pakowski fighting his way through a couple of sticks of both Brinkman and Reiners. And now Edina back into the offensive zone. As Brinkman gets tied up. And able to be held in by the Hornets at the blue line. Borst up there up high to hold that one in as it just kind of wobbled toward him. Play continuing behind the Eden Prairie net. Pakowski will send it back around the near side. Come the Eagles back the other direction. Throw that one in deep. Guy will poke at it with the stick as Boltman up ice. Long pass that's out of the reach of Walker. Icing waved off. Middlestat trying to get it up ahead before he takes a hit. Conan harassed by Boltman. Torlicki with it now in front of his net. Bank it off for Jungles. Jungles up the near side. Jungles throws it toward the net, but it slides all the way to the far side boards. And wobbles in as Edina tried to push it back toward the net. It's Middlestat in. with help. That one thrown toward the net. Blocked. And here come the Eagles. That one sort of pushed lazily away by Jensen. Here's Crosby into the zone. He goes down to the ice. Work its way back around. Tomadze. Back down to Vorlicki. Throws that one on goal. Stopped and held on to.
Well, you see Kamatzi, I mean, he's one goal away from a hat trick. Got a pretty good look, but he gave the puck up to his defenseman, Vorlicki, for the shot. And that kind of a microcosm of how Edina plays. You know, a lot of players that go for the hat trick, a lot of line mates that try to feed him the puck, but he gave the puck up in a pretty good scoring opportunity. But that's just the unselfish nature of Kamatsis, and that's why when he leads, people follow.
Banked all the way down. This will go down for an icing. We'll have a face-off back deep in the Eden Prairie zone with 3:27 remaining.
Well, obviously we have plenty of time left, but if you're Lee Smith, you look at the body of work that your team exhibited tonight, you have to feel proud regardless of the outcome. They battled. That's what you want to do, is you want to battle through. You want to show your verve, so to speak, and I think they've really answered a lot of questions tonight and given themselves some confidence regardless of how this game ends up. They skated with the Hornets for a good period of time, just a couple little potholes, so to speak, on their road to success, but I think they learned something from it. They're going to be a better team after this game than they were coming into it. Let's not get carried away, guys.
Oh, Edina will make the trip to the Eden Prairie Community Center on February 15th. That would be a fun one.
It's going to be a spirited affair, I'll say that, but Colby in the box for Edina, and it looks like it's going to be Crosby in the box as well, and it looks like it's going to be either Horton or Jones. It looks like it's going to be Horton for Eden Prairie, so Eden Prairie might come out of this with a power play, counting the numbers in the box, and unless there's some sort of an unusual penalty. You hate to see emotions get too far out of line in the closing moments of a 3-goal game, but these teams are very familiar with each other, and I'm sure that once the final whistle blows, they'll shake hands as sportsmen do, but doesn't mean they can't be emotional until that final buzzer.
Irwin controlling the face-off. Langfells will have to bank it off the boards. It'll be intercepted and taken the other way by Nevers. He'll just dump it down in deep. Nevers fighting with Langfells now behind the net. 3 red jerseys down there. A great job by Nevers, the one Edina player in that pile. He held that pile pretty well for a good few seconds. Jensen into the offensive zone. Will wait for his teammates to set up. Langfells toward the net, deflected off of Mackay up into the netting.
Boy, and I think that actually carried off 2 players, and I think one was Reiners, and I think the other one was Lesko. So, but the final one wrapped it up and out of play. So,
but Brinkman able to take that one away from the senior Eden Prairie forward. The recent reconverted forward, reconvert possibly. There's a shot on goal held on to by Garrett Mackay.
Well, that means he's got some flexibility to his game, and his coaches have faith in his footwork on defense. But Conan's a big body, and he put a good challenge on Brinkman. Brinkman took the puck initially away, but Conan's strength took that puck back, kept the puck in the zone, put some pressure on Mackay. So nice job by the Eden Prairie forwards. One way to have some semblance of success against Edina, get the puck deep, try to work behind the goal line, work behind the defense, but make them come the full 200 feet. So far, Eden Prairie's done a pretty good job of that.
Edina possessing it in their own zone. A good job by Wilhite trying to force his man off the puck as it swept out into the neutral zone. He dumped back into the Eden Prairie offensive zone. Now swept back out into the neutral ice area. Walker chasing it down into the offensive zone for Edina as it works its way around in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Eagles will bring it out to neutral ice and then intercepted and brought back in by Jet Jungles. Jungles tied up on the near side. Now back out at center ice. Or Trevor Cruiser sends that one back in toward the near side boards. Now comes Mason Nevers in with it. Centering feed for Walker, and that one sent up into the corner. Bart, you and I were talking off air before the game that we thought Eden Prairie needed to weather about the first 5 minutes to really feel good about where they're at. And even though they do trail 1-0, I think you think they still feel pretty good about where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. They're skating with Edina. Edina did get their opportunities, but My thought was is the first 5 minutes is their first challenge, the next 5 minutes is their next challenge, and then the final 7 minutes, they're just going to have to start winning each and every shift, or at least competing, keep the puck out of the zone, but they have to possess the puck and keep it off those Edina sticks. As you can see, Edina is very good about working the puck in the offensive zone and really make you start to chase the play. That's something they've got to kind of stay away from. But if they can possess the puck, it makes their job a lot easier.
Spikowski sends that one in on goal, covered and held by Mackay. Face off deep in the Edina zone with 10:50 to go in the first period.
Well, Spikowski, number 12 in the red, he's one of these players that you might not hear about a whole bunch, but he does so many little things to help his team get a chance to win. He's a gritty player that knows how to play the game, and coach has a lot of confidence to put him out in each and every situation, and he hasn't let him down.
As you say that, he wins that key face-off, and Jensen with a shot on goal, having covered quite a few Eden Prairie games lately. Certainly see Pikowski. He doesn't show up a lot on the score sheet. He did get a goal Thursday night in that win over Stillwater, but he's that guy who's always driving, always fighting hard, always looking to make something happen. And there he gets another shot on goal, steered aside by Mackay.
He's just tough to play against, and that's what you want as a coach.
Yes, Jensen tries to center it. Did center it out front into traffic. Puck shot high over the net. Max Borst down into the corner. Bykowski with that early shot on goal. And here's Brinkman in neutral ice, working his way forward. He'll dump it down into the corner. Now along the far side boards behind the net, it's played by Irwin. He'll send it back along to the far side. Back into the neutral zone. Eagles quickly ahead, but that puck skipping off the stick of Jones and will collide in the corner right in front of us. Middlestit breaking out of there is Mike Verlicki for the Hornets. Now all the way down into the Eden Prairie zone once again. The near side corner, centering feed goes all the way off the boards in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Edina will have to reset in the neutral zone. Here's Verlicki with it. Dump it down along the near side boards. Now behind the Eden Prairie net, the Hornets looking to come out with it. They'll play it back around the net. Looking to center it. Reversing direction in front of the net and then swept out into the near side boards. Here comes Eden Prairie back the other way. If this puck flipped out of play, and we'll have a face-off. 15:09 to go, first period.
Well, so far the best chance tonight is Jack Jensen taking a shot on Garrett Mackay. Mackay stood tall, got that first save out of the way. Not a lot of action down in Dietrich's area, but there is some zone possession time by Edina. Another player of focus for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad is number 37, Carson Jones, junior forward. He can spearhead the rush, and he's centering Middlestead and Conan. So a very formidable line for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad.
There's a shot on goal by Mason Reiners. It's swept down into the corner along the near side boards. Brinkman trying to hold it in for the Hornets. He does, and he drives toward the net. Brinkman in. Brinkman shoots that one wide into the corner. Well, the defenseman getting a good chance on goal there, Bart.
Yeah, we're going to say Brinkman's name quite a bit. Him and Vorlicki and really a host of all the defensemen, Boltman and I can't think of it, Reiners. These are four very good quality D1 prospect candidates, so they're going to be very active tonight, and that's another challenge, another layer of challenge for this Eagle squad.
This play moves along the near side boards. Eden Prairie coming through the neutral zone with it. Here's Jensen along the near side. Jensen trying to work his way toward the middle. Brinkman knocks him off the puck, but Jensen still able to maintain it. Tried to center it for Wilhite, but intercepted. Brought back through the neutral zone by Edina. They'll throw that one toward the net, and that one just off the mark, and the net knocked loose. Well, Edina's going to try that quite a bit. They like the wingers attacking. Welcome back, everybody, to Braemar Arena, where Edina leads 3-2. Looks out to the out-of-town scoreboard. Minnetonka had a 2-0 lead over Wayzata. That was at the end of the first period, so a little while to go on that one. A little bit slow trickling in information on that one. Other top 10 scores: St. Thomas with a 6-1 lead over Simley. Duluth East beat Bloomington Jefferson 5-1. Score that really jumped out at both of us, Bart. Creighton Durham Hall 10-1 over number 5 Holy Family.
And Holy Family's a darn good squad, so big win.
What do you make of the Raiders? They go into Holy Family, Chanhassen, they come away with that 9-goal win. What do you think about the Raiders?
Well, I think obviously it's a statement that they're making. They can score goals in bunches, plus they can defend against a very good Holy Family squad. But sometimes when games get a little out of hand, you kind of lose the mojo to win the battles, and things kind of manifest into a bigger entity than they should be. But I'm sure Holy Family would like a rematch, but a very impressive win by the Raiders.
And I have the rest of the top 10 scores. White Bear Lake 5-1 over East Ridge. Number 9 Andover 3-2 over Duluth Marshall. Those games both finals. And Moorhead had a 2-1 lead over Rogers at last check.
Well, that's your out-of-town scoreboard. What we have here going on is a 1-goal game going into the third period. A summary of the scoring: it was Walker that opened the scoring in the first period at the 3:26 mark with his 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki. Then Edina answered in the second period early at the 3:01 mark. It was Komatsis from Crosby. And then Eden Prairie answered shorthanded at the 7:46 mark. It was Conan with his 7th. And then Crosby answered back at the 16:45 mark, unassisted with his 11th. And then another shorty by the Eden Prairie Eagles at the 16:56 mark. Just 4 seconds remaining. Jones scored his 9th from Horton and Conan. Shots on goal that period: 17 for Edina, 2-period total of 26. And 7 for Eden Prairie, 2-period total of 18. But boy, this really has the makings to be a very intense 17 minutes and perhaps more if Eden Prairie can have their way. They just have to survive. I think the first
Welcome back, everybody, to Braemar Arena as we get set to start the second period. Edina with a 1-0 lead, the 23rd goal of the year for Sam Walker, but very impressive play from Eden Prairie in that first period, Bart.
Yeah, in fact, shots on goal favored Eden Prairie 11-9, and a lot of those were pretty good quality shots where Mackay had to come out and make the save. The official scoring was Walker's 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki at the 3:26 mark, but that's where we stand right now. But I really liked what I saw from Eden Prairie. Now they're going to have to turn it up a notch and play just a little bit better. They have the long line change. Very important to get off early. Hard to defend against Edina with tired legs, but again, play responsible, stay out of the box, but just keep putting pressure on Edina and make them come the full 200 feet. Very impressed with the way Eden Prairie played that first period.
Face off at center right, controlled by Edina. They'll be coming to the near side for the second period as Dietrich sort of mishandles that puck behind the net. And Edina able to poke it out, but here comes Carson Jones with it. Middlestead into the neutral zone. He's tied up by 3 green jerseys there, though. Here's Irwin bringing it through neutral ice. He'll throw that one in on Mackay. It was an impressive shot from the blue line. That thing just kind of whizzed in there on the Edina goaltender, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Yeah, Mackay made that save, and it made it look easy, but you can see Middlestead trying to come out of the zone, and he was surrounded by all white jerseys, and that's the challenges the teams face when they play against Edina. They're a very responsible defensive team, not a lot of room to move, so you have to know what you're going to do, get rid of the puck as quick as you can, but keep moving it forward.
Bykowski tied up by Brinkman as he played it around the Edina net. Puck loose along the far side boards. Edina now coming through center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's Cole Kavanaugh. He'll throw that one into the far side corner. Play it around to Walker. Walker will bank it off the near side boards. As Lesko couldn't quite poke that one into the zone, but now they have the stoppage of play.
Well, it was a hand pass that originated from the defensive zone, but we're going to bring it all the way back. But I think it was actually Mason Nevers is on this line, and he really brings the dynamic. This is a young man that can actually, we've seen his development from being a youngster. Now he plays a very mature game right now, but he's got some solid hands, some great ability. So number 18 in the white, player to keep an eye on.
Walker to take the face-off against Carson Jones. Now a discussion with the Edina bench. Kurt Giles getting an explanation of some kind.
Yes.
As Langfeld puts on a hit in the corner. With Nevers and Walker tied up with him, and now Carson Jones joining the fray. Now we'll have a frozen puck with 14:42 to go here in the second period.
Well, the referees tried to let them kind of work that one out. A resolution was not in order, so he blew the whistle. And both teams, generally, if they're on for 30, 40 seconds and they get a whistle, they're going to change and get the fresh legs out there. Eden Prairie put a good spacing on that, gave Edina a little room to move on the periphery, but getting in tight, Eden Prairie's been clamping down defensively, supporting their goaltender.
Edina wins the face-off. Komatzis gets it up high, and that goes off the stick of Dietrich all the way up into the ceiling, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, that's where possession comes into. You have to win the dot face-off in your own zone. Got it back to Brinkman. Good shot. Komatzis ramped it up and out of play. Low ceilings here, but went off an Eden Prairie stick, so face-off in the Eden Prairie zone.
Brinkman whiffs on the pass, and Eden Prairie will be able to get it out to neutral ice. That one skips out ahead of Lesko. Edina back into the offensive zone as that one goes off the skate and then just out of reach of Crosby on the loose puck. That one thrown toward the net, and Dietrich falling down. I don't know if he got a piece of that one or not, but it ended up high off the end wall.
Well, that was an unnatural reaction to that shot, so his feet might have got taken out in all the confusion, but the puck stayed out of the net. That's Eden Prairie's primary goal.
Komatzis throws it down low. Back to Komatzis. He scores!
Wow.
Demetrios Komatzis has their 14th goal of the year. It's 2-0 Edina.
Yeah, and Komatzis is one of these players where you kind of take him for granted a little bit. He's got a whole bunch of skill involved. You kind of take him for granted, but that was a good shot. I think it went between the arm and the actual chest protector of Dietrich on that one, but nice feed by Crosby from behind the goal. Playing behind the defenseman is something that Edina can do. Got it out to Komatzis, and he put that home. 2-0 lead Edina. And we're just about 3 minutes into this second period, so Edina again strikes early, up to Eden Prairie to respond. They're down by 2 now. They have to kind of limit this momentum that Edina's gathered at the beginning of the second period.
Officially 2:59 will be that time of goal. Using my California math skills there. Play moves down deep into the Eden Prairie zone, offensive zone rather, now with a fight developing in the corner. Wilhite tied up. Now Rudrud trying to come out with it. It's centered. Pajkowski tried to redirect. Rather, that was Grain. My apologies. It's held onto by Mackay.
Well, again, you don't have to come back and score, but you have to come back with possession, put pressure on, and that's exactly what they did. And Grain is one of those players that really is got a little grit to him. He's got a little speed to him, but he makes things happen. He really makes people make plays.
Here's Verlicki back to Brinkman. Verlicki has to stop that one with his skate. Lining up for the blast, trying to set something up on a redirect. It's Crosby trying to work, that's Walker trying to work his way in. Stick loose.
They never break at a good time.
Verlicki winding up for the blast, saved by Dietrich. That was Brinkman who let that one go.
Nice save by Dietrich, directed the puck in the corner.
It's Brinkman getting it back down low to Nevers. Nevers tied up by Langfels. Jensen able to clear that one out. Power play over, so Eden Prairie +1 on the penalty kill. Can't argue with that.
No, if you're Lee Smith, you have to feel very good about the effort your boys gave you.
That shot goes wide down into the corner. Nevers with it. He's tied up by Jensen and Rudrud. That shot into the middle is blocked. Brinkman able to come out with it. Brinkman pretty heavily involved on the offensive side of things. So this one comes out front, and that shot goes wide.
Well, sometimes Brinkman gets a little bit aggressive and puts his team in some vulnerable moments, but his skill set is certainly a benefit.
Verlicki driving in, and that one tipped wide by Dietrich.
That's a big save.
Jungles with a shot that goes off the glove of Dietrich. So Edina ramping up the pressure.
Indeed they are.
As Rudrud able to bank it off the boards down back into the Edina zone. Brinkman there, chased by Jensen. Brinkman will throw it off the near side boards. Here comes Edina back into the zone with Komatzis just out of reach on the centering feed. Trying to get that one to Colby. Play continuing behind the net. And poked back up toward Boltman, he'll play it around the net. Pager with it. Pager will send it to the near side. Lesko has it now for the Eagles. He'll throw that one into the neutral zone. Hit put on by Wilhite at the blue line. Komadzi's trying to turn it up nice, but he gets knocked off the puck. Good work there by Pikowski. Let's it back down into the Edina zone. 5:20 now remaining in the period. Crosby along the far side boards. This one thrown toward Dietrich, and it kind of comes in on him like a baseball line drive. It's Horton almost knocked off the puck in his own zone. Able to be held in by Edina at the blue line. That one thrown toward Dietrich, and he'll deflect it up into the netting with a stick.
Well, Horton, a pretty good shift. First time I think we've called his name tonight, but he's one of those defensemen that Lee Smith can go to when needed. But he made a nice play, kind of rang the puck around the boards, and that's something that you can't do against Edina. They don't bail on the line, so that little sequence was because they couldn't do the clear. You have to be a little more responsible. Sometimes it's almost better to eat the puck than to just give it away. But they lived to tell the tale just under 5 minutes ago in the second period. Eden Prairie only was.
So another early period goal for Edina. They've scored within the first 3 minutes of all 3 periods. And here comes Rudrud down into the zone. He'll bank it off the near side boards. Rather, that's Pager, my apologies. Edina playing it behind the net. Vorlicki lining up. Headed up and winding up for the blast is Brinkman. Rather, that's Boltman, my apologies. Vorlicki banking it off the near side boards. It'll play its way around the net. Got loose out front and swept out of there by the Eagles. Vorlicki will chase it down into the zone, chased by Carson Jones. Getting tied up in the near side corner. Conan down there as well with Boltman. Now along the far side boards, chipped up ahead by Swanson.
Boy, I don't think that's really what Swanson wanted to do on that one. He just wanted to chip it out of the zone, but the official scoring was Komatzis, his 15th from Crosby, his 3rd point of the night, 2nd assist, and Colby at the 4:04 mark. We talked about the first 5 minutes of this period, and obviously Edina answered the bell, but Eden Prairie looks unshaken. They're back to business, but offensive zone time and possession is what they need now.
Well, the clock, though, is starting to become their enemy a little bit. We're under 12 minutes to play. Still plenty of time, but it's something that's going to start creeping in very shortly.
Absolutely.
Jensen gets to that puck in the corner first. Jungle's bringing it through center ice as he's trying to fight off Irwin. They move down into the near corner in the Eden Prairie zone. Jungle's tied up now with Pikowski. 4 guys down there now fighting for that puck. Eden Prairie eventually comes out with it. Jensen up the near side. The one poked off of him. Pikowski ties up Reiners behind the net. The Eagles Edina quickly the other way. Jungle's looking to center it. That one just out of reach. A little wobbly pass. Now still loose to the left of Dietrich, and eventually he'll cover it up.
Well, a nice transition zone exit for this Edina Harder team. Came out very efficiently, came through the neutral zone with speed, and again put pressure on Dietrich. Eden Prairie, the fight is still there, but Edina's got them back on their heels in a reactive mode. When Eden Prairie has success, they're pushing the pace, they're putting pressure on Edina. Now Edina, it seems like they're starting to find that rhythm and getting the puck to the open man and using those blades like they can and putting some speed in front of Eden Prairie. It's been a challenge for them. They've answered the bell so far, but it looks like the wheels are starting to wobble a little bit on this Eagle squad.
As you said earlier, Bart, these Hornets can make these little innocuous plays turn very dangerous in a hurry. These little dump in, suddenly you've got guys crashing the net and generating opportunities.
And they have a propensity to get the puck through traffic to those open guys, but Edina is very, very good at going to the net with numbers and
Welcome back, everybody, to Braemar Arena as we get set to start the second period. Edina with a 1-0 lead, the 23rd goal of the year for Sam Walker, but very impressive play from Eden Prairie in that first period, Bart.
Yeah, in fact, shots on goal favored Eden Prairie 11-9, and a lot of those were pretty good quality shots where Mackay had to come out and make the save. The official scoring was Walker's 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki at the 3:26 mark, but that's where we stand right now. But I really like what I saw from Eden Prairie. Now they're going to have to turn it up a notch and play just a little bit better. They have the long line change. Very important to get off early. Hard to defend against Edina with tired legs, but again, play responsible, stay out of the box, but just keep putting pressure on Edina and make them come the full 200 feet. Very impressed with the way Eden Prairie played that first period.
Face off at center ice, controlled by Edina. They'll be coming to the near side for the second period as Dietrich sort of mishandles that puck behind the net. And Edina able to poke it out, but here comes Carson Jones with it. Middlestead into the neutral zone. He's tied up by 3 green jerseys there, though. Here's Irwin bringing it through neutral ice. He'll throw that one in on Mackay. It was an impressive shot from the blue line. That thing just kind of whizzed in there on the Edina goaltender, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Yeah, Mackay made that save, and it made it look easy, but you can see Middlestead trying to come out of the zone, and he was surrounded by all white jerseys, and that's the challenges that the teams face when they play against Edina. They're a very responsible defensive team, not a lot of room to move, so you have to know what you're going to do, get rid of the puck as quick as you can, but keep moving it forward.
Bykowski tied up by Brinkman as he played it around the Edina net. Puck loose along the far side boards. Edina now coming through center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's Cole Kavanaugh. He'll throw that one into the far side corner. Play it around to Walker. Walker will bank it off the near side boards. As Lesko couldn't quite poke that one into the zone, but now they have the stoppage of play.
Well, it was a hand pass that originated from the defensive zone, but we're going to bring it all the way back. But I think it was actually Mason Nevers is on this line, and he really brings the dynamic. This is a young man that can actually, we've seen his development from being a youngster. Now he plays a very mature game right now, but he's got some solid hands, some great ability. So number 18 in the white, player to keep an eye on.
Walker to take the face-off against Carson Jones. Oh, it's
good quality shots where Mackay had to come out and make the save. The official scoring was Walker's 23rd from Nevers and Vorlicki at the 3:26 mark, but that's where we stand right now. But I really like what I saw from Eden Prairie. Now they're going to have to turn it up a notch and play just a little bit better. They have the long line change. Very important to get off early. Hard to defend against Edina with tired legs, but again, play responsible, stay out of the box, but just keep putting pressure on Edina and make them come the full 200 feet. Very impressed with the way Eden Prairie played that first period.
Face off at center ice, controlled by Edina. They'll be coming to the near side for the second period as Dietrich sort of mishandles that puck behind the net. And Edina able to poke it out, but here comes Carson Jones with it. Middlestead into the neutral zone. He's tied up by 3 green jerseys there, though. Here's Irwin bringing it through neutral ice. He'll throw that one in on Mackay. It was an impressive shot from the blue line. That thing just kind of whizzed in there on the Edina goaltender, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Edina zone.
Yeah, Mackay made that save, and it made it look easy, but you can see Middlestead trying to come out of the zone, and he was surrounded by all white jerseys, and that's the challenges that the teams face when they play against Edina. They're a very responsible defensive team, not a lot of room to move, so you have to know what you're going to do, get rid of the puck as quick as you can, but keep moving it forward.
Bykowski tied up by Brinkman as he played it around the Edina net. Puck loose along the far side boards. Edina now coming through center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's Cole Kavanaugh. He'll throw that one into the far side corner. Play it around to Walker. Walker will bank it off the near side boards. As Lesko couldn't quite poke that one into the zone, but now they have the stoppage of play.
Well, it was a hand pass that originated from the defensive zone, but we're going to bring it all the way back. But I think it was actually Mason Nevers is on this line, and he really brings the dynamic. This is a young man that can actually, we've seen his development from being a youngster. Now he plays a very mature game right now, but he's got some solid hands, some great ability. So number 18 in the white, player to keep an eye on.
Walker to take the face-off against Carson Jones. Now a discussion with the Edina bench. Kurt Giles getting an explanation of some kind. Now Edina comes out with the face-off. It's Mason Nevers, and he throws that one toward the middle, lining up for a blast into traffic that goes off of Middlestead's skate. Come into the near side corner, or far side corner rather, excuse me. Here's Middlestead. Middlestead working his way around a couple of Edina defenders. And Edina back the other way. His middle stat as he worked his way through the zone. Langfells loses control of that one. It banks off the near side boards. It'll float its way down into the Edina zone. Hornets bringing it up into neutral ice. Into the offensive zone. Centering feed for Walker. Walker able to get a nice shot. And thrown toward the net. They score! Eden Prairie answers with 2.6 remaining in the period.
Well, judging from the energy, I think it's Carson Jones that scored his 9th. But boy, what a big goal that is for Eden Prairie. That's got to put some energy back into the bloodstream. But Edina, I think they got a little lazy. I think once 15 seconds left, they thought they were just going to round out the period. But Eden Prairie had different ideas. Worked the puck down low, got the puck in, and it was Carson Jones, no stranger to that area. He makes it count. Now they're down by 1. We're going to go into this period with a 1-goal game. If you're Coach Lee Smith, you have to feel exceptionally well about how your team has not only played but responded in the face of adversity. If you're Edina, boy, they just keep doing what they do. It's really difficult to contain, but so far Eden Prairie's answered a couple of those riddles. But it's going to be an exceptionally exciting third period.
Especially have to see with the way that this the intensity on both sides has really ramped up. And as you said, Bart, looked like a couple of times Edina was about to maybe start to coast into the win column a little bit once again, but Eden Prairie twice saying, don't go away yet.
Absolutely, and I think Edina is going to get a little bit of an earful from their coach on that one. You have to play the full 17 minutes, and that's what Edina's really mantra is they're a very hard-working team. I think they just let up, and Eden Prairie took advantage of that opportunity. I'm sure Edina's not going to let that happen again, but what a great showing from Eden Prairie to finish out that period to pull it within 1. It's going to be a great third period. Don't go away.
Interesting to note, both of those goals coming shorthanded in that period for the Eagles.
Something.
So special teams working in the opposite direction for the Eagles tonight. They're +2 in the penalty kill. Can't ask for much more than that. So we'll go to the second intermission here on stateofhockey.com, presented tonight by Tavern on 4 and 5, Green Mill, Walzer Toyota.
And Shirts Unlimited, I believe.
Shirts Unlimited, you're right, Bart. So thank you to those sponsors this evening. We're going to take a timeout, come back in about 12 minutes with the start of the third period.